of the Damned.
Hello and welcome to Spoilers of the Damned, episode number 25. It's the end of season 1, everybody. Christmas special.
Woo!
I might put some sleigh bells on the intro. I might not. Probably not, because that's too much work.
Who wants to put a bet on it? Will he or won't he?
I'll put
$5.
Well, the beautiful fact about people listening to this is they already know the outcome. So you can gauge my laziness level.
You know what? I think it'd be funnier if he didn't. Like, well, he obviously didn't. Or maybe people will listen and they'll be like, well, will he? I don't know.
Wait, were there any sleigh bells? I can't remember.
I just probably get tired and confused and put sleigh bells on the first episode of season 2 and it'll all go wrong.
It'll all go wrong.
But yeah, we're here to discuss the festive classic Jingle All the Way.
The hell we are.
You got to.
No, we're here to talk about Predator.
Yeah. Predator.
Which was a great time. I haven't seen it in 10 years, and yeah, it was great.
I don't know that I've ever actually fully seen it, just like on TV and stuff. So
Really?
it was, yeah. I mean, I know I've said this kind of stuff before, and it's okay if you guys don't remember, and it's fine. I'm just saying that I never sought out R-rated movies during Arnold's heyday. So, like, Terminator 2 was the first one that I'd watched, and it was because my father rented it, and he didn't tell me to leave the living room when he had it turned on. So, I was you know, a kid.
That's like just permission.
Yeah, that's permission. Like, he didn't notice I was there, which was cool, one way or the other.
I hid in the closet and watched, and that's tacit permission.
Yeah.
He didn't say no.
Yeah.
He didn't close the door and suffocate me.
Right. So, but yeah, so I never saw
I'm
it.
glad you didn't get suffocated, Chris. Carry on. Sorry.
I'm glad it didn't suffocate too. But like, it's weird because my cousins who are like under 10 years old were just talking about Predator, talking about Aliens, talking about Terminator, all these movies that Arnold's in, and I'm just like, well, that's cool. I like video games because that's what my parents allow me to mess with. So, yeah, I hadn't watched Predator nearly as often as anyone else has. So it was kind of nice to see it all the way through. It's also kind of funny, just, but we'll get into Predator like properly later, I think. So, how about horror-related stuff? Matt, anything?
Well, I've had to deal with a new rollover and new IT systems at work, so that's been horrifying enough for the week. The sheer incompetence of some of our IT team.
Yeah, there's definitely a deep hopelessness when that kind of shit happens. Yeah. Like, is this the best we can do as a species?
It's just like my line manager, because obviously we're in the graphics team, so we need like the Adobe Creative Suite, and we need like certain applications. Sure, and prior to this whole thing, they sent around like Excel spreadsheets to like the managers of teams and individual people saying, you know, let us know what software you need on your machine so it's installed for the rollout. So he filled it out and said the three of us need this, and this. We get our machines, and it's got any of the software we requested. They acted surprised when we requested it. Why do you need it? Because it's the software we use to complete our work. Then they fucked up our laptop for committee as well, because we set up like these public committees for like plan applications and all that, and we put all the slides and everything onto a laptop, hook it up to the projectors and the screens, and it's all good. So they took off the local login for it, and we said, well, we need a local login. They said, well, can't you just log in as yourself? We're like, not really, because isn't that like a data breach? Like, there's a risk of data breach, because I don't want to log in and have people able to access my documents.
Yeah, your documents.
Yeah, and then they were like, I'm like, oh well, how do you usually do it? We go, well, we usually transfer stuff by disk or memory stick, and they go, oh, you can't do that now. What do you mean we can't do it now? Oh, we've locked it for the laptop. Why have you done that? Well, you know, data protection. Like, well, we need it unlocked so that people coming from other companies can put their slides on, so they can give their presentations. Well, we don't. Oh, we can't do local logins anymore for Windows 10. All right. Well, we promise we'll get you a base computer, a base laptop that won't be connected to the network. Okay, still waiting on that. Over a week.
Christmas is coming.
It'll be a miracle.
It's been an absolute disaster. Like the network keeps going down, and no one has the software they requested. So it's been horrifying and very stressful.
Yeah,
I just have visions of you guys wrapping up on the last day before the holiday, and like it arrives, and it's like it's a Christmas miracle, and then you like turn the lights off and shut the office and go home.
It's like fuck this. It's been a little bit stressful. I think is the right way to put it. But besides that's it. That was horrifying enough for me.
It's horrifying enough. This is crazy though, because like, I mean, you were talking about work. I'll bring up work too. Fuck it. Just like the 3 days ago, a very simple mistake. But you know, in a factory environment, a simple mistake can compound into a really big mistake. And basically, the one group of people on a line put the wrong parts on for about 30 or 40 parts, and that was on third shift. I work second shift. And they're like, oh, well, second shift didn't tell us what we were supposed to hang, so we didn't know. And I'm thinking, this place has been running for like 50 fucking years. This doesn't happen. You know, they're definitely trying to throw us under the bus. But instead of like, okay, third shift.
They didn't not say to not do it, so it was okay.
It was okay. So instead of like, I don't know, like reprimanding those who were responsible or even firing them, which I wouldn't condone firing them, but still like reprimanding, they're like, okay, everybody from all shifts, make sure you write down the parts you're putting on the line before you leave your shift. And I looked at my team leader like, we've been running this department for like 50 something years, and this has never happened. So why the fuck is this the solution when it's very clearly user error? It's very clearly someone just didn't look at what they were hanging and then just put it on the conveyor and then just like either fucked off and looked at their phone for a while, or were listening to music the whole time, or maybe weren't even wearing pants, you know, because it's third shift. They just probably ran out without any clothes on and worked like the fucking cavemen that they are. Not all third shifters. Some are unfortunate circumstances. But some people who, anyway, it blows my mind because I go to a very practical level. I think, okay, the problem isn't what we're actually experiencing. The problem is that humans in general are so stupid, including myself, that we come to this problem and it reaches that conclusion as opposed to the actual fixing the problem conclusion. And you can see this kind of stuff all the way across the board. And you could do like a work problems podcast for an eternity for all the people who have these silly problems. And anyway, I
have a question for you.
What?
Would you take having to write down all the like obvious bullshit that you never had to write down before if everyone starts calling it a mezzanine? That's the kind of like
you know
devil's advocate question I'm here to ask. You know?
Well done. I like that. I've made great strides in making sure it's being called the mezzanine since that podcast.
You've written
so
a
long
manifesto.
ago.
You're handing it out.
Yeah. Well, no, I finally got my team leader who fought against me for a while to finally accept it, and now she points it out to other people. So I have an ally.
Dude, you're affecting change. This is great.
Sweeping change. They'll feel this in other countries. Maybe Italy. Where mezzanine is an Italian word. Anyway, besides that though, I've been listening to audiobooks for the last couple weeks, and I find that I really enjoy listening to audiobooks from celebrities telling their life story, and not just any celebrity, but I've reasoned it out in my head. Normal people don't make audiobooks about their life story, so celebrities are basically your only option if you want to listen to life stories.
Yeah, usually, unless something really awful happened to them.
Yeah, something really awful happened to them. And
like, I'm a celebrity now because I had this horrific ordeal in the course of 3 days, and I've written a book about it.
I'm a celebrity now because I lost my legs and my arms, and now I'm just a head in the jar.
Yeah, just a head in the jar. But you didn't mention the torso. Is the torso gone too?
Well, that's a different story. That's in the sequel.
Yeah, that's in the sequel. So it's been a while since we've met, and we've met up, not since I've been introduced to you two. and I finished the Arnold one a long time ago, but I started and finished John Cleese's audiobook called So Anyway. And that was kind of fun. And it was very interesting because, like, of the way he writes, and it's not particularly funny. It's that he would lay the, the punchline at like the beginning of a story, and then several chapters later introduce the joke that uses that punchline.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's not ineffective. It is fun, but it's pretty interesting. But one joke that I'm just going to whip out real quick, 'cause that's easy to remember. He was talking about how at school, like during graduation, he experienced fine dining for the first time in his life, and he decided that he was going to eat well for the rest of his life because he enjoyed it. But there were, like, throughout his life, he's discovered there's 3 things he will never let pass through his lips. 1 is celery, 2 is sea urchins, and 3 is raw human flesh.
In that order.
In that order. And what makes that joke so good is that he says raw human flesh, which means that he's gone beyond the bounds of normal into the absurd, and now everything else in the absurd is now an option, just not raw human flesh. So cooked human flesh could totally be good. He will try that, just not raw. Just as well as anything else you can fucking imagine on the level of raw human flesh. Oh, it was a killer joke. I love that joke. But what I also... Huh?
It is a good joke, to be fair.
Yeah, it is a great joke. And then the other one I finished after that, which was only six and a half hours long, was Gene Wilder. He did one called "Kiss Me Like a Stranger." It's more of a memoir than an autobiography, but he still talks about his childhood and stuff. It was pretty good too. So that's what I've been up to. No real horror related stuff, actually.
Besides the human flesh.
Yeah, besides the human flesh.
I've been trying to rack my brains for things that I've done horror related, and I haven't, unless we're talking kind of the existential horror of work and things like that.
Yeah,
but
the deep terror.
What is terrifying is the amount of time that I've put into Animal Crossing Mobile.
That is a horror.
Thankfully, no money.
Okay.
I haven't paid any real money to anybody, and I can prove it. I haven't. But
bullshit.
I have spent an obnoxious amount of time playing it. It's this kind of thing where you just pick it up and press some buttons for 5 minutes and gather stuff to just make the numbers go up in your inventory.
Yeah.
And then 3 hours later you do it again, and then 3 hours later at 1 o'clock in the morning you do it again.
Yeah. Yeah. So what was it? Animal Crossing? You said?
Yeah, it's Animal Crossing. I will say, to my mind, it's a better game than Pokemon Go. It's still a game in the very basic of terms, because essentially it is just kind of like talk to animals. They want stuff, so you collect stuff to give to them, and then you get rich, or you get in debt, as I found out.
Talk to animals, get money.
I think it's really dangerous that this game has, because I mean, obviously, I know I've not really played the console games, but I know they have this history of, you kind of get in debt to this guy.
Oh yeah,
like Tom Nook.
Tom Nook, yeah.
Yeah. So I understand it's a gameplay thing, and that's fine. But in a game with microtransactions, the idea of like loans and stuff is really kind of like, it toes this really weird line. It's like, oh cute thing, cool. By the way, you're $100,000 in debt, and if you want to speed this up, you can buy Leaf tickets. So, But,
that is insane.
I managed to do all the things. Yeah, I managed to do all the things I want to do in it without spending actual money.
Yeah,
you can buy this little stall with Leaf tickets, but they give you a certain amount of Leaf tickets for doing things. So I bought this little stall, and now KK Slider turns up to my campsite, because it's all about campsites and visiting from people's campsites. He turns up and plays like a guitar and stuff, which is cool. That's all I ever really wanted from it. Was just KK Slider.
That's all I ever want. Just the dog to show up with his acoustic guitar and go meow 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 meow.
Play for me.
Meow 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 meow. Why don't you just play the 3DS games then? Because I'm sure they're better.
Yeah, I'm sure they are, and I do want to play one, but now I guess I just want a Switch one.
Yeah, that's true.
The Switch is what I got, and it's what I play, so kind of like, I don't know, I just feel like I just want one of those now.
So wait, is Animal Crossing on the Switch?
Not yet, I don't think.
Not yet, it's not been announced.
Okay, yeah.
They might well be developing it, so, and if they are, that would be great. I'd be there day one.
I gotta look this shit up. So it's on mobile then. Animal Crossing on Google Play or something like that.
Yeah, I guess so. You know, I'm
Pocket
Apple
Camp.
Master Race,
Is that what it's called?
It's on an iPhone.
Yeah.
Pocket Camp, I think that's the one.
Oh. I was
I'll
wrapping
give you
my
my
head
phone code.
around like no, I'm not getting it.
Well, Tom, just to let you know, I have just typed in Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, and one of the first top stories that's come up is Animal Crossing Pocket Camp is giving away 20 Leaf tickets in return for retweets. So you just go on there and just
get on the retweets.
Yeah,
retweet that shit, yo.
If I use Twitter, that would be really useful.
Yeah. Get on. You should be using Twitter to promote the podcast.
Yeah.
Yes, I must do everything that the game tells me to do to get the Leaf tickets.
Yes.
Yeah. Take it or leave
Go
it.
and do it now.
Sell your body. 10
Yeah. You got blood, we'll take
5.
it. Okay. Oh man.
Oh yeah, like you take the blood and then you find out it's the rarest type, so you get more.
Yeah, like 50 tickets. You're like,
That's some real RNG optimization right there, having the rarest type of blood.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, it's kind of cool that you mentioned that though, because it makes me feel a little less bad that I've been playing Puzzle Fighter on my phone. But it's a legit game.
I like Puzzle Fighter. I mean, I haven't played this new one, but I played the old one. You know, the port they did for Xbox Live, sort of in the early days of Xbox 360.
Yeah.
Is that the one
that was fun?
That's like a puzzle game with Street Fighter characters?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember when it came out on the PlayStation. It's like, this looks weird, but I like the
Yeah.
art style.
Yeah, it's fun. Like, I'm not trying to sell the mobile game because you don't have to. It's free. But like
it's free. Asterisk.
Yeah.
But it's just plays Frank West. I'm there. Sold.
Yeah, and Chuck Green.
What? I love a bit of Chuck. Chuck doesn't get enough love.
Both characters are in there, and Dante is in there, so you know I'm on board.
Yeah.
Morgan, Hagar, Mega Man X, of course, your classic suite of Street Fighter characters, Ryu, Ken, M. Bison, Chun-Li. Blanca, who gets very little love lately, is in there.
Really does.
And they just put Jill from Resident Evil 5, and they put Servbot in there. He's going to be coming up pretty soon. It really doesn't matter who you have, though. That's one of the good things, is that you can play any character, and there are some stat differences, but for the most part, the core gameplay remains the same across the board. So if you don't have that character yet, it's not going to change how you play the game. It's just going to be like, I have my favorite avatar now.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
it's not like you shouldn't pay $5 to get power crystals to purchase Dante, but I did.
You shouldn't.
Yeah, I'm scrolling through the App Store now, looking at it. So essentially, the only real kind of like the only thing you really need to spend money on is speeding up the process to unlock characters. Then.
Yeah, basically. The thing is, though, you can't just like get into the game and buy everything, which is a plus in my opinion. However, it's like sort of RNG related. If you go to the store, they'll have a suite of things to buy. It won't be 100% of the things that are available, but you'll have you can buy Hagar, but there won't be any characters on sale. Just that one. And then the next day there'll be a different character on sale. And then the next day there'll be a different character on sale. So I just basically saw Dante. I was like, oh, there he is. Getting him. I could have built up the crystals, and in fact I probably would have had them all by now if I hadn't spent them on other things. But I was like $5 for a game that I'm already having fun with. It's $5. It's fine. I don't play mobile games.
Are actually overall very good.
Yeah.
On the apps, on the Apple stores.
Yeah.
I might download that later.
Yeah, there are some genuinely good free-to-play games on the App Store. Like, I haven't played it in a really long time, but I really, really had a lot of fun playing the Walking Dead one. Dead Man's Land or No Man's Land, whatever it was. Not the one based on the comic, because that was pretty shit, but the one based on the TV show. That was.
You're talking about the grid kind of
it was
based one.
It was basically like a really simplistic XCOM. It played like that. It was just really fun. And I gave him some money because it was free and I was having a lot of fun playing it. So it was like, you deserve money. Here you go. Here is money. Instead of, oh, cool, you've bought our game for 45 quid. Well, how about the season pass for £30? And while you're at it, would you like to give us all your money for loot boxes in case, so you can get a ultra rare weapon, but more likely just get a different cosmetic look that you will never get.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the things said at the Video Game Awards about loot boxes?
No.
No.
Okay, so there was this one guy, an actor, who was up there to read out the winner of a thing.
Oh, see, the one that got really excited. I heard someone got really excited.
Oh no, it's not that. That's the other guy. I'll get to him. So this guy, he just kind of goes, and the winner is, and then he goes to open the envelope, and he goes, "Oh, I've got to pay for this. This is ridiculous." And he goes into his pocket to open it, and everyone's laughing and like, oh, he did a thing.
Oh,
but no, the guy you're talking about is the director of Brothers and the upcoming game A Way Out.
Okay. Oh, that's the Prison Break one, isn't it?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah. You play two characters at the same time, so the whole thing is going on kind of split screen.
Yeah, that's getting it's getting some real publicity. Just like it's purely co-op, and you really do have to work together and you do things separately. It does sound very cool, and it's got local split screen as well. So I'm going to be all over it. There's no single player mode at all, so I'm going to have to make sure I get the right person to play it with.
Yeah, I'm going to have to I'm going to have to try and train Kina up because we tried to start Resident Evil Revelations 2 and that's got split screen co-op.
Oh yeah, it has, isn't it?
Yeah, she's just she tries, but she's not got twin sticks down yet. So I'm kind of like the running into wall.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking A Way Out is that's going to be perfect fodder for a live stream because it's going to be funny. But one thing I want to say about Revelations 2, I love the fact it's got co-op, but I always feel so sorry, like whoever is laboured as player 2. It's okay when you're playing as Claire because is it Moira that she's with?
Yeah, Moira.
She can stun enemies with the flashlight, and then she can twat them over the head with a crowbar. Mm-hmm. Whereas when it switches over to Barry, the second player was just playing as a little girl that can do something.
I don't.
Barry's got this cool weaponry, and it's like, I've got a magnum, a pistol, and a assault rifle. What have you got? I can pick up rocks. I can see enemies through walls. I'm
a little girl.
I was playing it with one of my mates, and I was just like, because we were playing the Claire and the Warrior bit, and we were like, this is really fun, because he was really useful, because you had to shine him, stun them, get a few shots off, and then he'd run in when they're stunned or on the ground, and just finish him off. Then it gets to Barry, and I'm like, wow, look at all these cool guns I've got. And he's like, I'm playing as a little girl. I was like, well, maybe she's got some cool abilities. And he's like, yeah. And all he was doing was just crouching down, going, okay, I can see through the wall. There's an enemy. There's two enemies. Okay, I'll wait here. Oh wait, I'll throw a brick to distract them. And I run in, going boom, 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 boom. Yeah, this is great. I'm playing as fucking Barry, Jill Sandwich, and all that. And he's like, I'll just sit here then.
Yeah, I'm an important and valuable member of the team.
Yeah.
Wait, I'll pick up a rock. Oh, you did something. Good on you.
Yeah.
But no, A Way Out looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I want to say real quick that just in case anyone else who's listening to this is dying for someone to say it, Resident Evil Revelations 2 didn't have split screen co-op in its release. It was actually added in, patched later. So,
okay.
Yeah, the burying girl thing was actually supposed to be a single player experience, and Moira, if I recall, had a crowbar, but that wasn't something you were supposed to use in conjunction with Claire. It was supposed to be, okay, Claire's the warrior, Moira points the flashlight, but Moira can defend herself with the crowbar if something gets near her.
Yeah.
But that's it,
Wouldn't it make more sense to add co-op into the first one, considering your partner in that always had a weapon?
Yeah, but maybe they didn't hear the screams of those who want to have co-op in all Resident Evil games from here on out forever loudly enough during Revelations 1. So
I'm just saying that the one that would make sense would be 1 because you were in a small squad.
Yeah.
Also, apparently it was the director of A Way Out that made the joke.
No, he didn't make that joke I mentioned.
Oh, he didn't make that one. It was
the
different.
one I was about to get onto what he was going to say.
Okay, sorry,
what he said.
I stole your thunder.
He was very animated and basically started swearing really loudly. And about 20 seconds after he'd said fucking shit, he turned to Jeff Keighley and he says, "Can we swear?" And he goes, "Yeah."
I like him already. He sounds funny.
Yeah.
He sounds like a cool guy.
He actually went on to kind of defend EA. Basically, I think because they're publishing his game. But he started off his sentence by saying, EA, loot boxes, all that shit, fuck that shit, etc. And everyone cheers. And then he went on to say, but publishers make mistakes, and that was a mistake. And, I guess because he had to, but he got this huge crowd roar.
So he basically,
you should check it out on YouTube. It's quite funny.
He basically did it very smartly, where he was able to go, yeah, fuck that. But they make mistakes. So then, if they ever get shitty with him, and go, no, I did defend you.
Yeah,
exactly. You said this,
exactly.
yeah, but I also said that people make mistakes. So I was actually trying to paint you in a good light.
Yeah, and if he hadn't acknowledged it, I don't think people would have listened to what he went on to say anyway.
Yeah.
Although many people are going, yeah, no, EA were shits before this, so it's not
they
like,
were.
Yeah,
it doesn't absolve them.
They've always
of
been
anything.
shits. Like the amount of people, you look at all the studios they've bought and then just closed. Like, well, the Visceral Games, they're gone. So Dead Space is probably dead.
Westwood,
which is a shame. I was about to say, fucking Westwood. Like they picked them up. Like they were red hot when they picked them up. They'd come off the back of all the Command and Conquer games. They made that brilliant Blade Runner game, the point and click game. Made all these great games, and then what did they do with them? They made
kill them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, shit can.
Like, yeah, come with us now. Fuck off.
Yeah, like there's a comic I'd seen where it shows like a humanoid with an EA head walking up to like another company's like logo who is also humanoid, says, "Here, come with me. Where are we going? You'll see." And then just like they throw them into a pit and shoot them into a pile of other companies that are also been purchased by EA. So yeah, like I mean, the loot box thing is forgivable. It's forgivable, except for the fact that like if anything that you buy in a loot box is not purely cosmetic, then it's not forgivable. Because like a lot of the times, because people compare these kinds of things. I'm not trying to like go through 4 or 5 different tangents, but it all begins here. Like for example, when I played Dead or Alive 3 on the Xbox, I had fun unlocking costumes. I would just go through story mode over and over again. I would get that one combo that worked all the time. New costume, cool, wow, Kasumi is even sexier. I didn't think it was possible. And there you go. People miss that. However, having the loot boxes that are unlocked through gameplay and randomly generate rewards that are of the same kind is not that bad in comparison. At least you don't have to be like, I have to beat this game on very hard mode to unlock the Kasumi bikini outfit. Is it worth it? Am I sad for doing this? Let's find out. You know? So, like, when Overwatch is doing loot boxes, people say, oh, loot box. But it's like, it's purely cosmetic. It affects gameplay in no way whatsoever. From what I understand, with EA's Battlefront 2, they had... You could unlock the other characters with loot boxes, and if that's true, that sucks.
Yeah, well, and it's like, and you could also unlock things that just made you better. So you would like for certain skills, like if say a certain character had like a special attack where they could just like fire like pure, like completely accurately with no recoil for like 5 seconds, you could unlock something that would make it last for 15 seconds. It's like that's shit.
Oh yeah,
I should have to achieve that. And I've also seen people go, yeah, but what about casual gamers? And my answer is always, casual gamers do not play games like this.
Right, casual gamers
they would not give a shit about that either.
Casual gamers become pro gamers. You know, when they climb the difficulty ladder through the ranked mode or whatever that they've decided to play through because they enjoy Star Wars so much that they want to just get in the ranked mode, then they cease becoming casual gamers.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
There's this weird, and this is almost horrifying, there's this weird movement to make games happen for the player as opposed to the player playing the game.
Yeah.
You know?
And yeah, it's always, and it's that mentality of, yeah, but what about the people that don't get a lot of time? It's like, well, if they like the game that much, they'll put the time into it. And if you don't get a lot of time, say like Persona 5 took me 100 hours to beat, right? And someone could say, yeah, but you should have to be, maybe if like you bought something so you could speed it up. I'm like, if you really like the game that much, you will not mind, no matter how little time you put into it, the time you put into it is worth it.
Yeah, I think this kind of stems from mobile games. You know, it wasn't so bad at first. It was fairly kind of benign, but as time has gone on, I mean, I've noticed this. I've sort of like, my wife has started playing, say, like a new game. Like she's really into like home decoration. So there's this one where you kind of you pick the carpets, the furniture, etc., and then you submit it off, and everyone kind of votes on it.
Oh,
okay.
And and I was kind of like, you know, that's So she likes that, and that's fine. But like, there are other games like she'll play, and you know, things like you know that was it EA again with Dungeon Keeper? Was it them?
Oh yeah,
I
they did.
think so.
Jeez,
I think so.
So it's like there are games where like there is no game. It is just a series of loading bars, and you can either pay to speed them up or
it takes like,
you know. Do you know what I
day.
mean? There's no and things like Farmville 2 as well. I mean, to some extent, there's some fun in it, I guess, because you get to design it and you get to decorate your farm how you want and everything else. But there is no win state. There is no finish, like at all in sight. ever.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, the whole point is that you're playing the game, especially if there's no end. That the playing the game must be like shit hot, because there's certainly no like ending or conclusion to reach for. So if you're then paying to speed that gameplay up, and the gameplay is all there is, like, what is the point?
Yeah,
it's not like, because I've seen other people as well like defend and go, yeah, what about MMOs? I'm like, actually, if you really knew anything about MMOs, there is endgame. There's a reason why there's called endgame raids. It's like the final challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be an instance of, it's not what we mean when we say episodic gaming, but like, those are kind of, there are episodes. It's kind of like this is the quest that we're going on this time, and there is closure to that quest.
Yeah.
Even if then your character carries on and does more quests, that's fine.
Yeah. Or even repeats the same quest, because why wouldn't you be able to in a game that you're paying for to play continuously anyway?
Exactly.
It's just, why would the game, like, okay, you finish the end game raid, and then you see credits, and then the game deletes itself. Like,
you have to do it all over again.
Yeah, do it all over again. Like, the end isn't necessarily the closure of, like, the credit sequence. It's just, you can just keep playing the game forever and ever and ever. Why wouldn't you be able to do that?
Exactly. And also, a really good MMO does actually have a semblance of a story as well.
Yeah.
There is, and if you read the flavor text in a lot of quests,
oh my god,
you realise that you're actually progressing towards something. Like Lord of the Rings Online, I've been playing a lot recently with my friends, because I played it way back in the day, and I found out I still had my level like 45 captain. I was like, oh, I'm going to start this up again. And like most of the expansions besides the most recent one went on special offer for Black Friday, so I got the two before it for like £9, and they're usually like 25 quid each, so about like $30 or whatever. And in that there's things called book quests, and they're like major story quests where you interact with characters from the books.
cool.
So there's actual plot there, and there's like plot progression. I'm just about to finish going through Moria, with like a band of dwarves from like Durin dwarves that have gone there after the Fellowship have gone there. So there's like actual plot. There's stuff to keep you coming back. It's not, because a lot of people think MMOs are just nothing but you just run around and just kill rabbits for 5 hours every day.
Yeah, like that South Park episode.
Bring me 5 pelts.
And then there is a lot of kill 10 orcs, but that's always you always seem to pick those ones up along with the story quests when you're actually doing plot relevant things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just always bugs me when people just go, "Oh, that's all you do in MMOs." It's like, it's not actually. Play one, please.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing, though. It's not just playing them that would indicate what you're doing in an MMO. I play Final Fantasy XIV, and it is the best story. It's the best Final Fantasy
story.
It's the best Final Fantasy game that's been made, in my opinion. Because it continues to grow, and it gets deeper and deeper and deeper. And they put so much intricate care in like the puns that they use for like the quest titles. Like, if you don't get it, it's just a quest title. If you do get it, it's a little something more. But it's not like in your face, like kicking turtle shells like you would be doing in Mario. If you played World of Warcraft, there's a quest where you kick turtle shells. But that's beside the point. The point is, though, that I just joined a free company, which is a guild, and there's a guy in there who just runs something called Palace of the Dead, which is a non-gear intensive experience point grind. You just go in with no gear, and you power up in gear for the Palace of the Dead specifically, and you carry that over, but it doesn't carry over like directly to your main character, so you don't power level gear wise. You can be level 1, go in and get gear for Palace of the Dead, still be level 1 on the outside, but when you finish the Palace of the Dead, you get experience points for the real world, which boosts you from level 1 to whatever, but you still have to buy gear. But you can use that to skip like all of the story stuff that you'd have to do over and over and over again just to level up. Anyway, my point is, there's a guy in there who just runs through BOTD and plays as every class, just doing every class. Like, for him, the point of the game is to get the level indicator to 60 or 70, because Stormblood's out now. So the newest expansion's out you have 70. So he's just trying to level to 70 every character class. That's it. Like, why would you do that? Like, when I jump into the game, I'm thinking, I'm going to be a paladin this time, or I'm going to be the Dark Knight this time, or I want to be a summoner this time. That's how I'm feeling. That's how I express myself. But I wouldn't, like, be a dragoon or a bard, because I don't want to be those two characters ever. But this guy's like, well, I haven't leveled up dragoon all the way yet, so that's the next thing I'm going to do. And then you spend, like, hundreds of hours just filling up progress meters until you can't do that anymore. And then you say, well, this game needs more stuff to do. And it's like, do you take anything away from your experience at all? Like, your actual experience playing the video game? Like, what do you do this for? Do you need, like, a hamster cage so you can run in that and fill the progress meter? Like, put some oomph into your life. And it's not just that one guy, though. It's like everybody, not 100% of people. Just one other quick example. They have materia in FF14. But the way materia works is, let's say you started off, you have a bronze sword. You use the bronze sword a lot, and you leveled up past the bronze sword. Now you're using an iron sword, but you still have the bronze sword. And
yes, I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's spirit bound. Like, the more you use it, the more your spirit binds to the weapon. So once you get to 100%, you can convert it to a materia. And the materia is like a strength +1, or dexterity +1, or, skill speed +1. And then you can put that materia in your iron sword to make it a better iron sword. So you're basically carrying your effort from the bronze sword to the iron sword, and so on and so forth ad infinitum.
It's kind of like prestige points in Call of Duty, but they actually do something.
Yeah, and you don't actually have to use the materia at all. But if you want to, you can also make materia out of weapons and sell the materia on the marketplace and get money from that. So people who are on the higher end of the game who don't want to spend the time leveling up a materia, they can just purchase it. And then the people who are on the low levels, who are going to burn through gear really quickly, can put the materia on the auction house and make money for themselves. Whereas the people who are in the late game, who have a bunch of money, can then feed the economy that way. And it's a really cool cyclic thing. I met a guy on Final Fantasy XIV who's leveling characters specifically because he has gear in his inventory that's not 100% spirit bound, and he can't convert them to materia yet. So
okay.
So it's
I mean, if he like enjoys doing that,
yeah.
If it's not like just a complete slog grind, then fine. But if it is just a complete slog grind to get like a shiny star next to it or whatever, then yeah, that's where you reach like stupidity levels. Like and I mean, I've done that. I did that Dead Rising achievement where you have to do the Survivor 7-day Survivor. So and I've done like. Incidentally, I've been playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, and I'm rusty as fuck. But I jumped right in on veteran mode, and I'm like, yeah, no, this is hard.
Yeah, they are balls to the wall hard.
Yeah, but I mean, I enjoy the challenge of trying to like basically just coerce the game to the next checkpoint by like Leroy Jenkinsing like a corridor or something, while I listen to an audiobook. So
yeah. I mean,
so I understand doing it for shiny stars if the shiny stars makes you feel good, but at the end of the day, if like you can amass 20,000 shiny stars, like where does it stop?
Right, and that's ultimately my point with EA is that they have found the wall to stop at. They shouldn't have gone as far as they did, and like loot boxes are like Overwatch's thing. Everyone understands loot boxes there, and in all of their games there's some kind of loot box equivalent. But EA, well, they saw that shit and they're like, money bags. And then they're like, well, people would definitely pay to have things that are more interesting, like a better gun or a better armor or interesting characters. Why would it just be skins and costumes and stuff? And then EA looks at us like Prey, and they're the Predator. And
hey. See what you did there.
Yeah, I want to.
They
are preying on us.
Before we actually get to Predator, I just want to say something for the record, and to have 100,000 people get pissed off at me. Like, as we record this, we're approaching the massive reveal of The Last Jedi, which I guess will be out in a week.
Yeah, it's next week. It's out.
Yeah, next week.
On the 14th.
So I'm probably going to go see it sometime over the Christmas/New Year period. I'm kind of like, I'm moderately excited. Like, I'm looking forward to it. Mm-hmm. Can I just say for the record, I like Star Wars. Fine. I like Star Wars. I don't fucking love Star Wars, and I'm sick to fucking death of seeing Star Wars everywhere.
Yeah. I mean,
I go to Tesco, they sell carrier bags with Star Wars on it.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like, I've always been quite a big fan of Star Wars, but I do get what you mean. It's just like and the worst thing is that I did groan when I heard the announcement that they're like, there's gonna be a new trilogy. Like, we're not even halfway through the current trilogy. It's like, what if you're one of the writers and you're like, guys, I've written the perfect script for the final episode and it rounds everything off. There's nowhere to go with this. Fuck you. Fuck you guys.
Well, could you do it again? Would you sign your life away on this? The thing that made me draw the line on Star Wars was Star Wars pet toys. Going to PetSmart.
Yeah, you mentioned I think before.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're printing on any old shit now. It's Disney. It's moneybags.
Yeah.
Right?
It is.
Yeah. Like.
And then Disney turns around to EA and says, "You're ruining Star Wars."
How dare you? How dare you?
While we print like Star Wars toilet roll and
oh man,
I'm wiping my ass with Princess Leia.
No,
no,
too soon.
You know
Hashtag too soon. No, I know what you mean though. Like, do you hate Kylo Ren or do you hate Rey? Choose your toilet paper.
I like them both, kind of. Why would no?
Yeah. Speaking of those two, the only thing that would make me interested in the rest of, like, the third movie is if Rey joins the dark side for whatever reason, and Kylo Ren turns to the good side.
A lot of people
they're trying
are
to
saying
hint that in the trailer.
It would be kind of cool, and I know that they'd be like, oh, but they show it in the trailer, so it won't happen. Like, yeah, but it would be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, like that would be one thing to save.
I don't think it's going to happen for one reason.
Why?
Because they made a huge deal about, and I know representation is important, but they made a massive deal about the fact that she's like a female icon for
a
kids
strong
and stuff
independent
like
woman with don't need
so
no man.
They won't. They will not turn her to the dark side at all. She might be tempted, like Luke, but
yeah.
But
it
they
would be
gotta
cool.
do it. They've got to do it. They've got to do it.
Cool.
It would be cool.
Just absolutely turn it on its head.
Very
and you're going,
cool.
oh, well, they're going that direction?
Well, I mean, it's not like this is the only movie where there's a female lead who's strong, independent, what don't need no man. There's plenty of other movies that have, we don't need to okay, here we go. This is it. The culmination of all women's rights. Rey in Star Wars Episode 8 fights off the dark. No.
It's like, it was my stuff when it came out. They're like, finally, there's a strong, independent woman in sci-fi. I'm like, have you ever seen Alien?
Or even Total Recall?
What about fucking Captain Janeway?
Total Recall. Like, there's two strong, independent women that are in there.
Badass, yeah.
I mean, it may not be like an insanely long list, but there is definitely a list of things that have already... Why would we make these other milestones moot by not recognizing them anymore, and then instead placing this one as the first time it's ever actually happened? It's stupid. It's stupid.
It is. It's something like, oh, finally, there's like an Amazonian warrior in live action that's good for girls. I'm like, fucking Xena Warrior Princess was quite big when it came out.
Yeah, exactly.
And she was badass.
I will say though, I'm kind of like a closet Doctor Who fan. Not that I'm not scared to say that I'm a Doctor Who fan. It's just the problem is I like Doctor Who more than Star Wars. I'll give you that. But
fair enough.
I'm really looking forward to the obviously the Christmas special is coming up, and that's when the Doctor regenerates, and it's finally going to be
that'd be
for
cool.
the first time.
Yes.
Now see that was my initial reaction, was just like, because I'd moved kind of away from Doctor Who because the last couple of seasons have been, in my opinion, shit, and that's because the main guy who writes it, Stephen Moffat, has kind of gone off the deep end, up his own arse.
He's a
in
hack.
terms of like
And apparently he's a massive
if anyone's
bellend
been watching
as well.
Sherlock, he kind of ruined Sherlock. Like, the first 2 seasons were fairly good, and now it's become like this kind of like weird emo psychodrama bullshit. But let's not get into that. So
I also have it on certain authority that apparently he's a bit of a bastard. He's a bit of a wanker.
oh well, it wouldn't shock me. It would not shock me at this point.
Bit of a tosser. But
like a majority of the last Doctor Who scripts have kind of been like the equivalent of him farting in front of me and sniffing it, kind of like South Park, which I will get to at some point.
Well, it was like it's up its own arse as well, and it's got a sense. I mean, because I watch it sporadically, but I was really on board for one episode that I thought was really cool. It's like, wow, this is really going somewhere, and then he pulls a full-on Deus Ex Machina in the next episode, and then he had like a big build-up to a character dying, and then goes, lol, they actually survived in the end. I'm like, fuck you, I hate it when they do that.
He has a real problem with that.
He has a
it's
problem
kind of like That was apparent even before he became showrunner. I mean, he wrote a couple of episodes, and so basically, it was originally the reboot was started by Russell T Davies, who was fun and a bit quirky, but you know, it was good. It was okay, and it kind of at the end he started to get a bit too kind of silly. So like Stephen Moffat wrote a couple of episodes. He wrote this kind of infamous episode called Silence in the Library. I think I think it's Silence in the Library. It's the one where basically there are these people in spacesuits, but these tiny little invisible aliens kill them inside their spacesuits, and then like their echoes reverberate. So there's this guy who goes, "Hey, who turned out the lights?" And it's kind of like they turn around and it's like a skull in a spacesuit walking towards them, going, "Hey, who turned out the lights?"
That's creepy.
And it's really creepy and cool. Yeah. So people were really excited when he became showrunner. Myself included. I thought this is going to be great, and so the new Doctor came in. I think that was Matt Smith, and it was really good, and I didn't mind it too much. And then it slowly started to like careen, you know, sort of like off the road. And the problem, especially, is that the most recent Doctor, Peter Capaldi, is brilliant. I really enjoy watching him. He's brilliant at it. I feel like the stories and the scripts that he gets are a complete letdown. And like you said, it suffers a lot from Deus Ex Machina.
Oh, it really does, because it's like the Marvel comic syndrome where a character dies and you go, they're not dead. They're what they are at the moment, but they'll be back. They always come back. Like, how many times has Magneto died in X-Men? He's died like 4 times. It's like they always come back to life. That's why I feel that I still really like the Marvel movies. Like, just on the record, like, I loved Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I thought that was a lot of fun. I liked Spider-Man Homecoming for the most part. I haven't seen Thor Ragnarok yet, but I've heard it's really fun. And the problem they've got is that they need to start killing characters off to make it feel like the stakes have been raised.
There are stakes, yeah, exactly.
If no one dies in the Infinity War arc, then it's going to be really boring, because I honestly feel, I'm not saying that you have to have drama, you have to have characters dying, but at this stage we're like 10 films in now. I think if you really want to make a statement and make Thanos look like the biggest threat that we've ever seen in any of these movies, he has to kill like the Hulk, like with no effort, just destroys him, and then you're like, oh.
You feel like the stakes have been raised at that point.
Yeah, and you're like, exactly. How the hell are they going to beat him? He's literally he's like ripped the head off of fucking the character no one gives a shit about, Vision. Like, he's like ripped his head off and just murdered the Hulk. Like, no, like with barely any effort. Like, holy shit, how are they going to beat him? They're going to have to really band together.
Yeah,
like, you have
at the risk of opening up a different Saw entirely, they kind of need to do a Negan.
Well,
yeah, where he just kills 2 characters and you're like, fuck. Oh wow, that's very stakes, you know, and then just get really boring. But
yeah.
Well,
the snooze and death. But
I just want to say, but with the Marvel stuff, like, it's much more likely they'll actually kill these characters off because the actors themselves have a lifespan.
Yeah, exactly.
Unlike the characters in the comic universe. And if I remember correctly, and I don't. I'm just going to say out loud, I don't. I'm certain somebody will correct me. But I'm pretty sure Thanos killed Hulk in the comics, or at least immobilized him to a point because they were fighting in space or something like that. Because why wouldn't you? And Thanos just like puts a bubble of negative air, or not negative air, but like no air around Hulk's head, so he just can't breathe. He asphyxiates.
I want to see that in the movie. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, like he's just like, Hulk smash, can't breathe, and he can't like burst the bubble or anything. He just fucking falls over dead.
And he's like, why has no one else ever thought of this? Why have you never tried to drown him?
Well, you try to drown him.
Just cut his head off.
But he also survives the trip through space, so I don't really know any more about the comic logic. But that's why I like supernatural characters better. Like, Ghost Rider is not Johnny Blaze so much as Ghost Rider is Zarathos. And Zarathos is like a demon who lives in hell and possesses those on the Earth realm and tries to break free. So like the whole Ghost Rider thing is a battle between a mortal man and an inconquerable demon, like at wills for a long time. And there you go. As opposed to like, I'm Tony Stark, I fly around in a suit.
The Punisher, who just murders people.
Yeah, flat out murders people.
I love the Punisher.
No mercy.
There's like no grey area of him. He just straight up murders people.
Yeah.
I ain't no superhero. Stabs him in the face.
So Predator.
Speaking of we do need to get on to Predator, but I will just say, to prolong this even further.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, by the time this episode comes out, the Walking Dead season 8 mid-season finale will have happened. Me and Matt, I think it's fair to say we're suffering extreme Eugene fatigue.
Oh, I'm basically...
And trash people fatigue.
This series has until the end, and I think I might be done. I'm so annoyed with this season, I'm currently scripting a video about it.
It's been pretty bad.
It's been so boring.
And apparently, rumours are abound that someone is going to die in the mid-season finale, and that it's apparently going to be a fairly big character. I've heard of one character.
I hope it's Daryl.
That's not the name I've heard. Basically, there's this group called the Spoiling Dead fans who release kind of like spoilers based around people who watch the filming and leaks from the production team.
Wow, that's really shitty.
They've been able to call quite a few episodes. I think all the way back to at least season 6 or season 5. They were calling like pretty much word for word perfect synopsises of the episodes before they happened. So they were legit. That's and they've come out and said this week we are not going to reveal what happens. Some people are saying, maybe they've been contacted legally by AMC to be shut down.
I think, because a cynical person as I am, that is a ploy to get people to watch more because the viewership has dropped immensely.
I agree with you, actually. I think they might well have been approached by AMC either, given money or at the very least, allowed to exist and not be kind of lawsuited.
Yeah, and just say this because it'll get people to watch.
Yeah, just say this because it will generate buzz. But the name I have heard is Carl.
Yes.
Now, I don't know how true that is.
Oh no, what a shame. One of the characters that cannot fucking act is going to die.
Bless him. Yeah, I know, but I feel bad because
he's terrible.
I like Chandler Riggs as a person. I think from all the stuff I've seen.
Yeah,
but he's not a great actor.
And the character is beyond unlikable.
Well, I don't know. They've started the kind of turn. Well, no, he was really nice to Sadiq, which was nice.
Yeah,
although they both suck at killing zombies.
Yeah, they do. It's again, the show just has this issue of the zombies are only a threat when the show allows them to be.
Exactly.
Like the amount of times we've just seen people just walk up to like 3 zombies and gone dead, 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 and all of a sudden it's like, oh no, one has surprised me, even though I have a machete in my hand. I've forgotten how to use my gun.
The rules change episode to episode. We've had hundreds of characters paint themselves with guts, but only one has gotten sick. So that kind of sums it up. And by the time you listen to this, it'll probably be out who's dead and everything else, and we'll kind of look either silly or based on that spoiler we might have called it, but
I bet it's fucking a side character.
It's got to do something. It's got to do something at this point because the viewership has massively dropped. I think to about like season 2 levels.
Yeah,
and that's when it was it was growing and people were into it, and characters spoke like real people.
Yeah, but even then, season 2 had a bit of a drop off because it was quite bad. Because it had, I think that was during the writer's strike, and that was when they'd ousted Frank Darabont. Because why would you want a guy in that knows what he's doing?
Yeah, why would you want the guy who made the Shawshank Redemption, the Green Mile? Are you fucking kidding me?
Pretty much every movie he's ever made has made money. Like a guy who's like critically fucking acclaimed. But yeah, that's
more than that, a filmmaker.
Yeah, a guy who knows what he's doing, who has a vision. They don't want a vision. Get out.
We do. I'm aware we need to get back onto Predator, but there's another thing. Fear the Walking Dead, season 3 was this year, and I will say, since it started, it had a kind of a rocky start, but season 2 into season 3, it really started to get quite good, to the point where some people were saying, I prefer this to The Walking Dead. Now, I'm not sure if I'm at that stage, but mainly because, I've got kind of like fondness for the characters and everything else and the comic books. But Fear the Walking Dead has gotten a lot better, and now they've changed showrunner. They've brought in Scott Gimple, who's the current showrunner for Walking Dead as well. Yep, apparently there's talk of a time skip, so they're going to skip time just to make it catch up to The Walking Dead,
but that's
which
not the
sucks.
point.
Yeah, exactly, because Fear the Walking Dead has got lots of characters, learning the shit that everyone else seems to know nowadays, like, put the guts on you, or, herds and stuff. Like, they've only just introduced herds kind of coming in, and now we're going to skip ahead, all that good stuff, so that we can basically have kind of like The Walking Dead B.
But the whole point of that is that it's set during the collapse of society. That would be
See, when they announced there was going to be a crossover character and that's going to be Morgan,
I thought it'd be like
some
Walking Dead Morgan.
Some people were saying yes, it would be after he met Rick, but before he decided to go after Rick to go to Atlanta, which would have made perfect. It would have been a bit weird, kind of like hokey geography, because he would have had to gone from I think Georgia to Texas and then back to Georgia.
Yeah, like this makes no sense.
But that makes more sense than skipping ahead and having current day. Or The Walking Dead, kind of like current day Morgan appearing Fear the Walking Dead. So.
That's so lazy. And also, there's so many other characters that you could have had crossover, like Abraham.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, he was in Texas to begin with. People were thinking it was going to be him until
it would make
they announced it was Morgan. So
it would make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
and also
some people saying that
boring.
That will still happen with the whole Morgan thing, that he's going to die at the mid-season finale, and but the only thing I will say about that is AMC are so fucking paranoid about people watching this show at the moment. They would not announce in the middle of the season, Morgan's coming over to Fear the Walking Dead if it was Morgan who's going to die in the real Walking Dead, because that's kind of like that's a no-brainer. You've just given it away.
Yeah, and they only ever really tend to kill off side characters at the moment. Like, they keep killing off characters that no one cares about.
Yeah.
They're like, oh no, Aaron's boyfriend's died. Eric? Like, I care about Aaron. That doesn't mean I care about his boyfriend.
Yeah. And everyone from the kingdom, like, half the people from the kingdom have died except the 3 that we know.
Yeah, exactly. The only, named characters are the ones that survive. And I don't fucking care about them. They're all annoying. Why are the heroes annoying?
I just want to say one thing before I forget it. I'm going to stretch and yawn first, but the theme of this podcast has really, really been Predator, though, because of like the way media companies have been preying on our interests and trying to exploit it. Like with the loot boxes, the mobile phone games. Now we have like Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead trying to bait us with another Tom said, Walking Dead B, and all that kind of stuff. It's insane. It's really, really insane.
It really is. It's very cynical.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's just always been that way, and I'm just noticing it because I'm a 35-year-old man, or if it's like...
I know what you mean, because I wanted to say earlier on that 21st century business is basically, like we were talking about EA buying studios and then shit-canning them.
Yeah.
That's business in the 21st century, is you buy your opponents to gain monopoly. But I guess that's always been the case. It's not just 21st century.
It's always been the case as far as purchasing companies and stuff. It's just like trying to manipulate consumer eyeballs to look at their product is like the name of the game now.
Yeah.
Like every time I'm playing Puzzle Fighter, I'm not looking at FF14. FF14 wants me to look at FF14 instead of Puzzle Fighter, and they've been doing stuff that's very similar to they've been doing some crazy stuff like putting Mrs. Freshly's snack cakes promo codes in the FF14 promo codes in the snack cakes. So it's like you can go to a vending machine, get a muffin, and it's like, hey, play FF14 and get this thing that'll give you a 3% experience boost. And it's like, what are you doing? What are you fucking doing? Like, I can kind of understand the pizza thing. Like, you can get Papa John's something or other, and that'll be... because gamers and pizza go hand in hand. I'm sorry, this is how it is. You can continue to raid while the pizza comes to your house. You don't have to aggro it. It just comes to you. It's nice.
One hand free to use your
God.
Skills. One hand free to eat the pizza.
That's right.
I've just had a brilliant fucking idea, guys.
Oh my God. Tell everybody.
Yeah, this is going to revolutionize the food industry. Okay?
Okay.
What we need to do is get everyone hooked on some kind of game that has, everyone universally is pretty much playing it. Some kind of mamorpaga. And then what we do is you get your shit your bananas and your celery and shit that people don't want to eat, and you put all of the high XP boosts on that. And then junk food only gets you maybe +1, but the healthy food gets you level up and shit. We could revolutionize people's eating habits to the point where they eat the healthy shit because they're sitting there eating celery, fucking hating it, but going, yeah, but I'm level 12. That's perfect. That would work.
Yeah, don't tell that to anybody. We don't want that to happen.
Yeah, no, I won't mention it on something like a podcast where, at least 5 people are listening.
It's like I have to get this ice cream en flambe to get the fucking experience point bonus.
Well, yeah. See, you could have ice cream. You could have ice cream, but if you get like Froger, which is slightly more healthy, you get like I don't know, +3 mindfulness or something. I don't know, like. Yeah.
Can you imagine like a raid environment? Like you have your guild and your guild leader is watching your diet to make sure you will be able to perform perfectly for the raid that night. I would quit. Man, you can't order pizza. I told you pepperoni gives you a -3% to your strength. We need that strength to fight the boss.
You gotta eat the low calorie pizza, okay?
Yeah, you're our DPS. You gotta be elite deeps, yo.
It's like, why am I getting kicked out of the guild? Because you won't eat pineapple pizza.
What the fuck? Man.
Oh god,
people. There you go. I've solved several crises.
No, you've created way more problems.
Created a monster, like literally created a monster.
Because also on top of that, you'd have to someone somewhere will have tracked your eating habits, your dietary needs, what your interests are, and then that shit will go on Facebook. And then because it's on Facebook, when you apply for a job, someone's going to be like, "You can't work here. You eat too much pizza," or some silly crap like that. Or we know you've been drinking Bud Light because your promo code that you activated on your Facebook page.
It says here you consume figs. I like the cut of your jip.
I like the cut. That's a diet I can get behind. Come on with me. Jesus Christ.
Oh, God. And the last thing they need is being, sort of like tying everything back to business to the point where, like, literally you can't shit without paying money or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put £5 into your toilet.
I'm depressed now. Let's
get the flushing DLC.
Literally flushing your money away.
Yeah. Tired of carrying your shit out? Use the toilet. Anyway, that's gross. Anyway, yeah, it's kind of hard to segue from that to Predator in a happy way, but here we go.
Let's talk about something that isn't shit.
Yeah,
let's go back to a time when movies weren't buyable on socks and lunch boxes. Well, probably lunch boxes, I guess. But
yeah, I mean, lunchbox with a bit of a tablet TV in there. You can take it with you to school and you can watch your favorite movie while you're eating your peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
And there's an idea right there.
Nice.
You're like, oh man, I really shouldn't be watching Debbie Does Dallas in middle school. But that's the kind of lunchbox that I bought. Anyway, that's fucked up. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that.
That's awesome. I've got the mental pictures that I probably get fined for. So
why is everyone crowding around Billy's table? He's got the best lunchbox.
His mom makes the best. Oh my god! Yeah, no, we're not even going there.
Oh no.
Yeah, so Predator. Guys,
delete
Predator.
that.
Delete.
Yes, Predator. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
Tom, you chose this. You started us off.
I did. I thought what we needed for Christmas was a nice, straightforward film. Especially an Arnie-based one because, as Chris mentioned, the autobiographies. He got me onto the Arnold Schwarzenegger one, which I've only just finished and has been really, really good and really empowering, actually. Made me kind of like reassess my life and how I see things. Now I'm seeing everything in terms of reps like he does, which is really cool.
reps. There are no shortcuts.
Yeah, practice. Yeah. And so I knew I wanted to watch something with Arnie, and so that narrows it down in terms of horror.
I think this might be the most horror movie he's done. Not that it is a horror movie, but I think it's the most.
Yeah, you could maybe argue that Terminator 1
has
got
maybe.
kind of like the darkness as well. But,
I was thinking that because he's almost like a slasher villain in that, isn't he? Almost.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, you're right about that.
It's the closest, I think, in terms of horror. I don't think of anything else that he's really done that's... I mean, he did that zombie film a couple of years ago, didn't he?
Oh, Maggie. Yeah, I haven't seen that.
But I hear that's kind of like more like a kind of like moving drama.
Yeah.
I've heard he's pretty good in it, actually. But yeah, in terms of horror, the closest thing really is Predator. Yeah. I certainly can't think of anything else. Unless you count Hercules Goes to New York, because that's just terrifyingly terrible.
Which I
have seen that. I have seen it. It's all right.
It's amazing.
By the way, you guys, I saw Conan as well.
Oh.
Yes. So good.
Finally.
Conan was great. I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah. It was just a good old-fashioned cheesy 80s romp. was great.
Well, I just missed that kind of fantasy movie where it's
Yeah,
not about anything but just a dude doing stuff in an adventure setting, and you get like the beginning and the end of a story, and there you go. You know,
And the 80s was the time for that. You know, you had like Willow and like loads of Neverending Story. Just
everything has to be a franchise now.
Yeah,
right.
That's the problem. Everything has to have a cinematic universe.
Like I was mentioning with Conan before, thinking on the podcast, it was supposed to be a 4-movie series.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be, but then Conan the Destroyer tanked because they didn't up the budget and they didn't get the same director because the director who was becoming successful asked for more money because his time was more valuable. And then they just like, well, we're not going to do that. We're just going to do the same thing with the same budget to the best of our ability, and it'll be just as profitable, more money for the studio. But there is an alternate dimension, a parallel universe somewhere where they made 4 amazing Conan movies.
They were the best ever.
Yeah, like because it was originally Conan was like I think $250,000 budget. It wasn't that much. It was something around that. I'm not sure if it was. I know it wasn't $1 million, but they were going to do like 10% of the profits from that movie plus another $250,000 to make $500,000 plus 10% for the second movie, and then $750 plus 10% for the third, and then $1 million plus 10% for like the fourth one. Some sort of figures like that, where it would just get progressively more higher budget to make it a better movie each time, which is how you're supposed to do those kinds of things. Yeah. But more money doesn't necessarily mean a better movie, but more money gives you greater potential for a better movie, especially if you go with the same crew, like the same director, same producer, the people who made it right the first time. And they didn't do that shit, so whatever.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I'm probably going to watch Predator 2 tonight. I watched Predator last night. Predator 2 is an example again of where they kind of, I think everyone changed, so it wasn't the original people involved anymore.
Yep.
I think the only thing that was the same was the Kevin Peter Hall as the Predator. That was the only thing that was the same. And John the guy who did the music, Alan Silvestri.
There you go. So and that makes sense because I do still like Predator 2 as far as I can remember. But
same here.
Yeah, I like it. It's not. I mean, it's nowhere near as good as the first one, but I think it unfairly gets a bad rap. I mean, it's not. Everyone, when people talk about it, they really talk so highly negatively about it. I'm like, it's not that terrible. And what is it people always that most of the time people complain about in the sequel is it's just the same movie again. This one tried to do something different. It changes the setting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It has a different set of characters, different type of characters. They're not like special forces again. And it tried to do something slightly different. It tried to go into the mythos a bit more and the technology of these creatures, and it tried to do different things. But no, we want the same thing, except when we don't.
We need a reassessment of Predator 2 and the kind of the cultural zeitgeist.
Yeah,
and I think Predators is good as well. I enjoyed the third one. I thought that was a fun movie.
I haven't seen it.
It's good. I think it's quite fun. Maybe we should cover it at some point.
Maybe you can choose that at some point.
The new one is out next August, so.
Yes, with Thomas Jane, who I was incidentally rewatching.
Oh, hell yeah.
I rewatched Scott Pilgrim recently and forgot Thomas Jane was in it.
When I saw that in the cinema, I marked out like a schoolgirl with my girlfriend. And I was like, "That's Thomas Jane." She's like, "The fuck is Thomas Jane?" I was like, you just don't get it.
Didn't he play Punisher, like the new Punisher, in the recent? Yeah, because he was really good in that movie. Yeah,
he was good in the movie. Yeah, it was great, and then it didn't make a lot of money.
We've covered The Mist. He was in The Mist as well.
Yes. Okay,
so
that guy. He's so good.
It's the new one's being written and directed by Shane Black, who is in Predator 1 as Hawkins, the guy with the glasses, and he also wrote the Lethal Weapon movies. I think up to 3, and he wrote and directed Iron Man as well. Iron Man 3. Sorry.
Nice. Yeah, actually, since you mentioned Hawkins, I want to throw this out there because this is nondescript. Bit of useless trivia. I was mentioning to Tom in the phone call before you showed up, Matt, that in Predator, there's 2 Stranger Things coincidences.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, there's Hawkins, which is the name of the town that Stranger Things is featured in, and there's Jim Hopper, who's the name of the police chief in Stranger Things. And I couldn't find a third thing to really nail in the weird coincidence to be more than just a coincidence. So I think it's just that, but still, it was strange that those 2 things happened. It was like,
I think I read somewhere that the Duffer Brothers did say the reason they called the police chief Hopper is because of because of Predator. They're like, yeah, it's a reference. Yeah, we're referencing it. Yeah, fuck that. Yeah, we did.
That's so weird because it's such a small nod.
Yeah.
To, I mean, like the character Jim Hopper in Predator didn't exist except as a bloody corpse. So it was kind of like, why would you even remember that and not use something more memorable specifically? Yeah. It's just so weird.
I think that does show you just how much they really love the stuff they're referencing in Stranger Things Series 1 too. It shows you just that they are massive fans of this stuff.
They really are.
Let's call him Jim Hopper. Yeah, let's just it'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love that.
And it really works for the character in Stranger Things, just being called being Hopper. You know, like that whole name convention really works for him as a character.
Yeah, it really does.
So, but Tom, give us a brief synopsis of the plot. You don't have to go scene for scene, but just what happens so we can get to the point.
Predator, for anyone who hasn't seen it, is a sci-fi / action / potentially horror, I guess, kind of film.
Yeah,
and it's essentially about this kind of commando group that get roped into supposedly helping or rescuing someone, only to find they're kind of like tools of the government, which sucks, I guess, especially after you killed a load of people and you're in the woods being hunted by something. So the film starts with kind of like, if I was watching this, I don't know, like for the first time, without any knowledge of the Predator or anything, I'd be a bit confused because the opening shot is a spaceship kind of like departing from another spaceship towards our planet, and then that's completely left hanging for like 20 to 30 minutes of soldier drama, which might be a little bit confusing. But anyway, so this group led by Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's playing Dutch
Schaefer.
Yes.
Dutch
Schaefer.
What a name. What a name. Dutch Schaefer.
Like, really quick, the only name I've heard beyond Dutch Schaefer, not the only one, but like a name that I've heard that's like similarly strong was in a phone book. A friend of mine, my cousin, pointed out, and this person's name was Rick Duke. Like Sheriff Rick Duke.
The actor that plays Mac is called Bill Duke. Like, Jesus, what a Bill Duke. Yeah. It's like you'd have to be like a porn star with that name, or like like an FBI secret agent. That's Bill Duke.
That's Bill Duke right there.
Bill
Duke. Just to prove how kind of like, I can't remember, I think we were talking about this before the podcast began, but just in case it was in the podcast, and so I don't sound like a complete fucking idiot, we were talking earlier about like Simpsons did it, and the first thing you said when you said like Bill Duke and stuff, my head went Max Powers.
Yeah. Max Powers.
It's like Simpsons did it, tick in my head, tick.
Yep.
So yeah. They get roped in by kind of this former commando and old friend of Dutch called Dylan, who like you can tell that they're kind of friends, but they also there's some kind of like there's an issue there.
There's distrust,
yeah. There's distrust, which goes on to be kind of like proven totally justifiable. And he kind of approaches them and says about this kind of idea of going to save these people, because that's what he does. Dutch, he's kind of, I guess, maybe got his hands dirty before and doesn't want any part in it anymore.
Yeah, they make a good point of saying we're a rescue squad. We rescue people. We're not. He even says we're not assassins,
which is hilarious when you see what the fuck.
Yeah,
like, I mean, because we basically covered the brief like synopsis. They go out to rescue. It gets turned around on their head, and they have to face the predator before the end of the movie. But when the rescue squad come in fully loaded, fully loaded, like no rescue squad requires a like helicopter mounted gun turret.
They certainly got the pre-order bonuses.
Yeah.
In the boxes.
Blaine did. It's like, time to let old penis out of the bag.
Yeah, let old painless out of the bag. What's fucked up about that scene is that he just, let's let old painless out of the bag before they've even encountered an enemy.
He just wants to show off. He paid $15 to get that.
Yeah.
You walk around with that gun. I want to shut off. Like, I like the fact that before then as well, he's like sneaking around the jungle with like an MP5. That tiny little gun. He's like, right, time to let the big guns out. And you know what? It's okay because it's Jesse fucking Ventura.
Yeah, the fucking mouthful of chaw.
I love that line he delivers on the helicopter as well.
Oh yeah.
Arguably not so PC anymore, but
right.
The second half of it is great. And I'd completely forgotten it comes from this movie. I'd heard it as kind of like a meme, you know, like this whole I'm a sexual tyrannosaur thing.
Yeah.
And then when he said it, I was like, holy shit, it comes from this movie.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten
and also, you know, some people will be offended by it, but, you know, the whole point is that it's to show that they get on so well that they can just jokingly call each other. Like, they're not being nasty. It's like little jibes at each other. And then he says that, but Poncho comes right back and just like raises his grenade, which is like, strap this on your sore ass. Like, it's great.
Yeah. And I think that also proves in a way to highlight the fact that there's this unease with Dylan between like him and the rest of the group. That they kind of get on well. They're kind of like a well-oiled unit, I guess.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah.
And also the whole that whole sequence when they attack the gorilla. I think the gorillas. They attack the gorillas is. I was saying to my girlfriend, like, it's simple filmmaking and storytelling 101. Don't tell us that these guys are good. Show us.
Yeah.
And it does that because it just shows them just tearing through them. It's like, that's how you show that people are badass. You don't do, but you don't understand. Like, he's got a medal on this, and he did you know he did this back in the day of the thingy thing? Like, don't do that. Just
and the long ago. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was going to say that talk. I really like trash people talk.
Yep. That's
why come back? It was like, fucking die.
I really like the fact that they come up with this plan of how they're going to approach this kind of group, and so they're carrying out the plan, and then they see that Dutch actually he kind of like has an idea and literally rolls with it, and they're all kind of like, oh okay, yeah, that's fine. This is what Dutch does. We kind of trust him. You know, he's our leader because like he's like, I'll put the C4 on the truck. Well, actually no, I'll just kick these out and then
lift it. Although I do like Jesse Ventura's reaction of what the fuck.
Yeah. Carrying around old painless, and he's like, "What the fuck?"
It's like, what are you doing, man?
See, that's the thing, though. Like, this is where the movie is a bit of a comedy because that whole
rescue
sequence,
all those people from their lives.
Yeah, from their lives. They come in heavy weapons, loaded for bear. They come in and they don't even have the reconnaissance correct. They don't know where the hostages even are. But they're using explosives just with reckless abandon. Grenade launchers mounted on their assault rifles. The C4 in the truck that Arnold Schwarzenegger makes a big show of lifting off of its like thing, like lifting a truck with my hands and pushing it so it rolls into the camp and blows the fuck up. What if they were in there? Well, they're not there anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. Like, all you see, like, Dutch sees one person gets shot. So, you know, one of the hostages has been shot, and they're like, well, guess we'll better just destroy everything. Yeah. And then Matt comes in and goes, I found the rest of the hostages, and they're dead as well. I'm like, yeah, you probably fucking shot them.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Old Painless came out at some point and just, you know.
well, that's everyone dead, then.
Like, there's the one guy who's very clearly into knives. You know, silent killer dude. They approach the nest, and he's like, he whistles and he silently kills one, and then the other guy kills the other one, and then they make a whole fuck ton of noise after that. It's just insane. It's like, why did you have those guys?
Like, wait a minute. Wait, it's like when you're playing a video game, you're playing like a stealth game, and you're like, I'll be stealthy. Oh, fucking no, I'm bored.
Yeah, I mean, it made me remember playing Metal Gear Solid 5, where I'm like, sneak. Yeah. Oh shit, they saw me. Here come the big guns. I'm going to supply drop on that guard up there, so the supply drop knocks him the fuck out, but I'm also going to use these guns I have. I have 4 of them, just all of the ammo, and I'm going to run up and like CQC somebody, bring him down, shoot him when he's on the ground. I'm not going to leave him disabled. It's fucking crazy shit.
I'm gonna put you out your misery, boy.
Yeah. And of course,
I guess the only reasoning for why they attack the camp with such gusto, I guess, is because they discover, like we said, the Jim Hopper and the group that were skinned. They find that before the camp.
They do, yeah. That's what makes them bring out Old Painless, really, I think.
Yeah, so
I
kind of at this point they think, well, we're dealing with animals, so yeah, we'll just
And then to be fair, then Dutch sees them execute someone who's handcuffed, and he's like, "Fuck these guys."
Yeah, but they still need to recon where the fucking hostages are before they use explosives. I will not yield on that point.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point.
Like, equip silencers, neutralize the guards, and, move in, but don't fucking blow up the camp.
Yeah, like, we're a rescue squad, not assassins.
God dang.
Pancho, get the grenade launcher and start blowing fuckers up.
Yeah, I love that they all kind of like basically have noob tubes. Because I had to explain to my wife while we were watching it what a noob tube is, because I've been playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered recently as well, so I love noob tubes. It's a grenade launcher on the bottom of an assault rifle.
Basically, a newbie with a gun has a tube on the bottom of the gun to shoot grenades, because that way they don't have to aim.
They kind of... Yeah, they spam them when they first get into COD 4 multiplayer, because kind of like, oh, I could just blow you up from over here. It's like, yeah, no subtlety involved.
Yeah, no subtlety. But to be fair, I would hate to die with grenades unused.
That's true.
Like if you're gonna go in guns blazing, use the grenades, because if they're not gonna get used, and I'm not saying in COD, but I'm saying in the real world, someone would pick up that grenade, and you'd be better that you use the grenades than they do, and then bullets. Bullets are bullets. They take time to load in into your gun, so that's where I come from with the grenade thing. But it's still kind of a noob tube thing because you don't have to aim. I get it. Predator. So they blow up the camp entirely, and there's no survivors except for one girl because, of course. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention is that Dutch throws that machete at one of the guys and sticks him into a wall, and he goes, "Yeah, knock knock."
Yeah, and also knock knock, boom.
I'm pretty sure like that immediately follows the other. Like literally, that's one line he says that, and then the next line he says on screen is the next.
Yeah.
Got to get my one-liners in.
Yeah, that became his trademark. I think he was mentioning in the autobiography that they may have been ad-libbed and they just kept them, but that became his trademark with the one-liners.
He was just really good at delivering one-liners. He's got a lot of iconic one-liners, more than anyone else I can think of.
I guess so. Because Bruce Willis might be a second.
But that's mainly just for John McClane. I mean, whereas Schwarzenegger's like it goes across like multiple films, doesn't it?
Yeah,
multiple different characters. It's
you're a choir boy compared to me.
Fucking choir boy.
He is the one factor through all of those movies. Where like if it's like someone else, it's usually a character trope, like say James Bond or something,
Yeah, now I'm trying to think, like, because I mentioned Bruce Willis, but he didn't do just action movies his whole career. So I'm trying to imagine him doing one-liners in Sixth Sense.
Yeah,
or like 12 Monkeys.
Yeah, be weird.
That would be very strange. That'd be a weird movie.
Yeah,
a weirder movie than 12 Monkeys. It's quite difficult though.
Yeah, that's a good movie. It's one of my favorites, though.
I love 12 Monkeys and Brazil as well. Two of Terry Gilliam's best movies.
You see, people keep saying stuff about Brazil, but I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's great.
But they say, "Oh, you like 12 Monkeys, you like Brazil," but it's like I don't like anything with the word Brazil on it. I mean, you're gonna have to sell it to me differently.
Brazil nuts.
Well, the only
they're okay, I guess.
I do believe the reason it's called Brazil is because the music throughout is I can't remember who it was that sung it, but it's actually a song called Brazil. And it's playing a lot throughout the movie, and a lot of like the actual film score is like orchestral versions of it. So
yeah, well,
but the rest of the movie is just,
that doesn't sell me either. I have no idea what Brazil's about. But
is it Jonathan Pryce? It's got Jonathan Pryce.
Yes. Who's that?
It's like all dystopian.
Have you ever seen Tomorrow Never Dies?
No.
Okay,
it's got Michael Palin in it. Michael Palin's in it. Robert De Niro's in it.
Yeah.
He's like a side character. I can't remember his name now.
Jonathan Pryce. Who is he in? Was he the High Sparrow?
Yes, he's the High Sparrow in Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
He's a really good actor.
Now I just want to like have a podcast where you guys try to sell me Brazil for episode after episode after episode, and I just keep finding ways to turn that shit down.
It's like, imagine, like the book 1984, like the whole Big Brother's watching you, the whole like real dystopian,
kind of like bureaucratic government,
yeah,
overarching.
It's kind of it's very it's like a dark comedy at times as well. Like it's kind of farcical in places, and a lot of the comedy comes from the characters reacting to how like overly complex and bureaucratic the world is. It's like, but to do that, you see, you have to get a form over there and send it over there, and you get a form over there to go to him, and then you do it. It's very funny, and very dark in places. But it's a Terry Gilliam movie, so you kind of expect.
Yeah.
That.
Speaking of two different movies,
Predator. Yeah, to be fair,
just sort of,
that's Predator.
They're going to go back to the LZ, the landing zone for those uninitiated, and get out. But first, they have to get out from behind enemy lines before the helicopter will even bother to show up.
Yeah.
And during that time, that's when weird shit happens with Invisible Dude killing people.
Yeah, they do not have a good time.
Yeah, and that's basically where the horror kind of comes from, because the first half of the movie is your basic action movie. Like, they could blow up the whole village and then roll credits, and you'd have a movie.
Yeah, it's a real slow burn until you even see it on camera. Like, it's a long time before you even see it camouflaged.
Yeah.
And even then, it's only briefly.
But they get wind of it because of the Native American, who I believe is not actually Native American, but just looks at enough that they roll with it. And I looked up trivia on the actor with the Amazon thing, and it said that he'd been cast to play many Native American roles. Yeah. But they didn't state that he was Native American himself, which should really piss off some Native Americans.
Yeah, he was fucking born in Georgia.
Yeah. Well,
and his real name was William M. Landon.
Yeah.
So, everyone just called him Sonny, but I don't believe. Just let me look. He was a descendant of the Cherokee and Seminole tribes. He also said he had Jewish heritage. Jesus Christ.
Whoa.
Well, that's quite that's a strange combination.
Yeah,
part Cherokee,
he can survive in the jungle and in the city because he's good with money, or something.
I knew you were going to go there as well.
I had to.
He can survive in the jungle and the urban jungle. And
that's the word I was looking for. Urban jungle. I was looking for that. Which is a quality skill to have, and there should be no disservice to the Jewish people. It's a quality skill to have.
Yeah, it's like when people are like, oh my god, they're so good with money. I'm like, that's a bad thing.
Yeah, that's a great thing. I want to have a whole bunch of Jewish friends watch over my money for me. That'd be great.
Here's my money. Look after it for me. Give me some good investments.
Yes, I mean that's really where it is. You want to have people who invest. You're not just like stare at it. I'm watching your money. It's not going anywhere.
Come on, you're paying me for this.
Yeah, can I take the money I'm watching? Anyway, but yeah, so he, that actor whose name I don't remember anymore, he's like the tracker. So he's like finding all these weird anomalies where like, I believe Mac gets attacked by a boar as the boar like runs past the tripwire and sets off a flare. But Mac takes it to that boar. Strangely enough,
he's already kind of quite spooked at that point because his mate's been killed.
Yeah, they've lost 2 people at that point, haven't they?
Yeah, he starts to slowly become unhinged.
I did think that at that moment that was the only I think the only problem with the movie is that felt really out of place where one of them just makes like a joke. It's like 2 of your squad mates have just died, man. You're like, could have got something big? I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, they were all laughing at him and stuff. That was really strange, to be honest.
That felt like it. I was just like, that's so out of place, like because up until then, like you just even after that, you feel like they're really they are all friends and they are like a tight unit. And then when one of them dies, like it's a big thing, and then just like one of them randomly makes like a really off kilter, inappropriate joke.
Speaking of off kilter and inappropriate jokes, I don't remember. Was it Poncho, the one with the glasses?
Hawkins.
Black. Yeah, Hawkins. That's right. In the beginning, with the helicopter ride, he's like, "Hey, I was asking my wife, could you give me a little pussy?" And she's like, "I wish I had one too. Mine's as big as a house." And he just starts laughing and laughing and laughing, and no one laughs.
I love that because he's just like, and then you immediately get the idea of he's desperate to make Billy laugh, and Billy just stares at him. It's like, because I said I want a little one, and she said, "It's big as a house." She's like, okay, I'll just go back to reading my comic book. But he's like, stop talking to me.
Yeah, but I mean, desperate is really the word there, because he's just coming up with these like really bad jokes, and he just keeps throwing them out, and then no one laughs but him. And it's like, what does he do on this team again? He's not the comic relief. He's definitely not that.
No.
So, like, because like Mac is the quiet killer stickum type, and Dutch is the leader. And
we fulfilled the posts for like quiet but moody tracker. We've fulfilled the points for muscly one-armed quip, kind of like. So we need someone who can crack vaguely unfunny jokes in a kind
vaguely
of like
tasteless, unfunny jokes that only he laughs at. We definitely need that guy.
Yeah.
What we need is someone who's expendable. So if he gets kidnapped, they can be like, fuck him.
He made terrible jokes. They'll let him go because they'll just keep making jokes, and I go, just go back.
Yeah, just get out of here.
Go back to your people. Tell them we're sorry. Tell them we're sorry. They have to put up with you.
And tell them to send someone else back if you could. I mean, if not, that's fine. If not, that's fine. But so Billy, right, is the tracker? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's basically finding all these anomalies, like trackless kills. Hawkins gets taken, and you just find his guts instead of like the body.
So I love it.
But I think his dog tags are there or something like that, so they can identify that it was Hawkins.
It was his weapon, radio equipment. Is all like his
yeah.
I like Poncho's reaction where he looks around and just sees like all his like intestines on the floor and nearly vomits, because I think you would if you thought that was your friend. You probably would go, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but you weren't expecting to just see.
Did you see what they did to the village?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, one of the best jokes in that movie is when Dutch turns to Mac. He said, "Clean up the area, make sure there's no traces." It's like, traces of what? You've blown up the village.
It's like, he looks around and goes, I think I'm done.
Yeah.
Throws his hands up. I think I'm done.
Yeah, I don't know what Dutch was trying to get me to do. There's nothing I can do to clean this mess up. I can't put the people back where I found them.
Just pile the corpses together and set fire to them.
Yeah. Like, try to assemble them as best as you can, and then just put them back where you found them. Yep, no one will know we were here. Let's go on.
They'll never know.
Man, I don't know. I guess it's because I'm 35, but I like watching this movie. I'm like, this movie was like not poorly written, like place-wise or pace-wise, but certainly the script, like Dutch specifically, it's like none of that stuff makes any sense. Oh man, especially since like when he sneaks in and does the whole truck thing. He's just staring at the guy. The guy's just not looking at him. He's just staring at him. He's like, well, I'm gonna make a lot of noise by cutting this what is it? This band thing that was spinning on the truck. Cut that. Guy doesn't care. All right, well, lift this up. Guy doesn't care. All right, well, here goes the truck. Like, no one looks to where the truck was. There's like, oh my god, the truck, where's it?
Boom.
Yeah, like their entire thing could just have been spoiled if the guy just like turned around for a second and go, huh? Who's that? And Dutch would have to kill him.
Yeah, then he'd have to just start shooting them.
Yeah, which is what they did anyway.
Yeah.
So.
It's like, wait, no, wait a minute, don't move in. I'm gonna do something really cool.
Yeah, watch my arms as I flex this truck. Ah! With the deepest respect, Arnold, if you're listening to this. Deepest respect.
I only do an impression because I love him so much.
Yeah, it's distinctive. You know who we're talking about when that
even if it's a
out.
bad impression, everyone immediately goes, "Oh, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger."
Yeah, exactly. And with also the deepest respect, his arms looked fantastic in this movie.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
Yeah.
Like more than once, he like stop like with his profile to the camera, and I'm like, God damn those biceps!
They're bigger than my head.
There's a bit at the start where him and Dylan kind of like shake hands, and it was just like bulging.
I'm like, man, sexual tension in this room.
Yeah. I saw an animated GIF of Stranger Things, and you guys have probably seen it too. But it shows Mike and Lucas when they shake hands, like in Stranger Things season 1. Yeah. Mike sees Lucas, and he walks up to him. He puts his hand out. Lucas comes up, puts his hand out, and when they put their hands together, it cuts to the scene of Arnold and Dylan, or Dutch and Dylan, doing their handshake thing with the fucking bulging, oiled up biceps.
Whoa, awesome.
It was awesome. It's like strongest bond right here.
I love that scene. It's just so overly macho.
Yeah.
But again, like I think that's one the criticisms I always hear is like, oh, it's like so macho. And I'm like, that's the point. Is it's supposed to show that
what's
they were, like,
wrong with that? It's not...
And also, it's supposed to be like big, strong macho man destroyed by an alien.
Yeah.
Absolutely gutted. Like they get absolutely butchered. There's no way around it. They get absolutely butchered. That's the whole point. Is that's the juxtaposition of they're like in a normal action film, these guys would be fine. But in like Commando or something, these guys are just like wipe everything out, no issues. That's the whole point. Is it's supposed to show like these are so badass. Look how strong, macho, muscly, badass. Alien wipes them out without sweat. Like kills all of them, obviously bar our main character. But yeah, all of them just like, and even obviously we'll probably we'll go through the deaths eventually. But a lot of people again have a problem with the way Billy dies. That he dies off camera. I love it because up to that point, he's the one who's like really calm, and you think he's the badass. He's like, he'd be like really good in the fight. He gets the knife out, and he's gonna go on his own terms.
That fucking short sword, you mean?
He pulls out that fucking machete, all-line machete. He pulls it out, and you're like, yeah, he's badass. He's gonna have like a big fight. Just kills him, no problem.
Yeah.
It's to make you go, oh, fuck.
Like
me.
it cuts away from that scene to like 3 seconds or so later, like really cuts away, and you hear a scream.
Screams, and you're like, Billy just screamed in, I don't know if it was pain or terror.
Yeah,
or
that did
both.
not sound good.
No, and again, that's the point. Is you're supposed to just go, so the guy we thought would go 101 with it just failed miserably.
Yeah, what hope do we have?
Yeah, precisely. He even says earlier, he goes, "We're all gonna die." Like, thanks, Billy.
Yeah, Billy really shouldn't have said that. That's really bad for troop morale right there. So we're all gonna die. Come on, Billy. Really? You know what? You're out of the team. Fuck you.
Like, come on, man. I got kids.
We got a chance, right? Come on, please.
Quick! We need to smile. Crack some pussy jokes.
Yeah.
Hawkins. Oh shit, Hawkins is dead.
Yeah.
Oh.
Awkward.
Yeah,
Anyone else know any bad jokes?
Anyone got any pussy jokes?
Anna, do you have any pussy jokes? I know it's weird, but we need that. We had that in our
He's
team.
like, please, Annie. He's like, I fucking know. Just crack one, please.
Yeah, and they all turn to Dutch, and Dutch is like, I have to kill someone, then I can make a joke.
Yeah.
Only make jokes when I'm murdering. When I'm ending a human life. Then
I need a muse.
Only in these circumstances.
Oh man. Arnie.
But so we got a bit. So where are we?
I think because there's a lot of stuff that just kind of like happens.
Well,
so
when it kicks off, it really it's I was thinking as well when we were watching it. Sorry, like I thought it's kind of similar in Alien to the sense where it's a slow build up to the actual creature itself.
Yeah.
And then once it starts killing, like people just drop like one after the other, like in quick succession.
Yeah, and there's a general kind of unease. I mean, they build it first of all by having the heat vision. Which, you're kind of like, oh, this is weird. You can hear echoes and, like you can see weird kind of like displays on the side and stuff. So you kind of like, I think most people at this point would put two and two together with the spaceship at the beginning and start to kind of form a picture. But it just kind of like, it keeps cranking it up until it gets to the point where it does start offing people sort of much more quicker, like you said. And, I that just adds to the kind of like the frenetic madness that characters like Mac and stuff are having, where it's kind of like, they're super intense because this whole situation is intense because it's kind of ramping up the tension, like, and not letting it like ebb away. So yeah. And I will say that Mac's death, I especially liked Mac's death because the Predator could have killed Mac when he wasn't looking, but the Predator waits until Mac's looking at him and then kills him, and that's kind of the Predator all over. Is just I really like the idea of his kind of behavior is the fact that it's kind of like he's here on a camping trip, like Animal Crossing, I guess. He's just rocked up, he's cracked some beers, and his equivalent of like fishing and stuff is to
murder.
Go out and kill a few humans.
He's accumulating skulls to pay off his debt to Tom Nook. Not a Predator version of Tom Nook, actual Tom Nook.
Like, robbing the skulls.
You'll only accept spinal column included.
Look at skulls. This one's damaged. You blew its head off, didn't you? There's a hole through that. Yeah, it's good. It's war damage. Look, it's good. It's got character. Come on. Give me some leaves. Give me some leaves.
Yeah. I really don't like the scene, though, where Mac dies because he didn't have to die that way. He didn't have to die that way if he and Dylan would have just thought a little bit about the bullet speed that they have with their guns and the fact they have a clear shot at a stationary predator and they could have just shot him.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's just fucking with them at that point because it's.
I think it's the idea is to show that they're so out of their depth.
Yeah, and the thing is, they think, oh look, we can see it, but it's not looking at us. So if we sneak around, we'll be okay. And obviously, they don't know it has heat vision.
Yeah.
It's like even if you sneak, you're so screwed. And the audience know that, so we're just going, "Oh, what are you doing? Stop it!"
Right.
So screwed. Oh, and poor Dylan as well. Oof. He goes out quite nasty, actually. At least, like, with Mac, it's quick. He just gets a hole blown through his head. Fucking Dylan gets his arm blown off.
Yeah, I'd completely forgotten about this bit. So he gets his arm, like, blown off, and, he very clearly shows that he's got, like, 2 guns. Yeah. So the second his arm went off, I was like, you've still got one arm. You've still got a gun. Shoot.
I love that moment. Like he turns around, looks, and you can see it run towards him, and it's quite fast. He's like, just gotta get, just get the other one. No,
you can see the arm on the floor, and it's like still triggering the gun.
Firing.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if either of you have ever watched Arrested Development.
Nope.
Really funny American sitcom, and I say, is it a sitcom? Yeah, it's like a mockumentary style. It's very funny, and Carl Weathers is in it himself. Okay. And when he appears, they go like, and then like Tobias that's where he met Carl Weathers, action hero extraordinaire, or whatever. And then it just cuts to a scene of his arm falling off and him going, ah, and it just cuts back again.
Nice.
And he's a bit crazy in it as well, where he's every time like someone's eating, he's like, "You gonna finish that? You know, if you get all the leftovers, you can make a stew, make a damn fine stew." It's like, I fucking love Carl Weathers.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, I really like all the deaths in this as well. They're all different,
right? And they're all suitably gory and violent, but not like B movie extravagant. Just gets gutted. Dude loses an arm. There's like pieces left of this guy. You see Billy like get his spine and skull taken out of his body, which is awesome.
Rips out with no effort whatsoever. I like when he just boots the body off the tree as well. I was like, I
don't need this. Yeah. He's holding the skull, he puts it down, and then he has like some sort of spray to clean it off and polish it.
I love it. And then he has his little trophy cabinet with him, and he's just putting them all in. And he takes one of them out and just starts stroking it.
Yep.
Yeah. I love that. Oh, I love it. I love this movie.
I feel the movie's, like, apart from the fact it's got Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, the movie's, like, massive strength is the fact that the Predator is such a kind of, like, interesting idea for an alien. It's not just because mostly, and I mean, most of the time, if the aliens are attacking, it's kind of just because of like either completely just conquest, like to the point where they have to like kill everything to propagate their species, or they're super intelligent and they're kind of above us and say you shouldn't kill. But this one is like it kills for sport, which is really interesting. I was reading the Wikipedia page, and apparently the genesis for the idea was that following the release of Rocky IV, a joke was making the rounds in Hollywood that since Rocky Balboa had run out of opponents on Earth, he would have to fight an alien if they made the fifth one. Which is a really it's funny, but you can kind of see the kind of the idea there is that it's kind of like it's a kind of a sportsmanly alien who's coming here to kind of like face up against humans, in a kind of almost a deadly kind of game.
Yeah, and the good thing is that it's not evil. It's not really evil. It's the antagonist of the movie, but it's not really like I will wipe out humanity. And it's not stupid. It's not like running on instinct like the xenomorphs in the Alien series, which are just like they do it to survive. They kill you because you're a threat.
What I love about it especially is that the lady who they've got accompanying them, she
Anna.
escapes. Yeah, Anna. She tries to escape a couple of times, but when she finally sees the predator kind of up close and it doesn't hurt her, she kind of loses all the fight because I think she kind of realizes that there's a much bigger threat here than just some guys. But she kind of like she sees the blood happen and everything else. So when they say like it bleeds. And he goes, if it bleeds, we can kill it. Apart from being an awesome line, it's something they've worked out about the Predator organically. Like, it's just happened. Like, in so many of these things, they kind of go like, oh, well, maybe, like, say The Ring or whatever, they say, oh, if we go back and put her body back where it should be, it will all be fixed. And it's like, in that instance, it's not fixed. But, like, most of the time, that works. And it's like, how the hell did you come to this conclusion? I mean, you just don't have that much information. It's a shot in the dark at that point. So I do like the fact that the things they work out about the Predator, like it can bleed, the fact that it's it's picking up heat, the fact that it hunts for sport, the fact that it won't attack someone who's unarmed, all of those things kind of organically happen. Like it's based on actual evidence.
It shows and tells at the same time. It does it in a good way. It does it in a very natural way.
Yeah, there's one
which is very difficult.
There's one line that my mother-in-law made me laugh because she kind of said like the equivalent of for anyone in the cheap seats, because there's a bit where like I think it comes up, it doesn't see him because he's covered in mud.
Yeah,
and then Arnie says, "You didn't see me."
You couldn't see me.
Yeah,
and then my mother-in-law said, "Yeah, for anyone in the cheap seats who hasn't quite worked it out."
That's one of the great things about Predator, though, and kind of what makes it sort of a horror movie is the fact that it is hunting for sport, which is something that humans do. You know, like one of the things that makes zombies scary isn't the fact that they're like body horror; it's the fact that they'll eat you alive, which is something that humans do. Not alive, not all the time, but like there are certainly recipes that people have raw and sometimes fresh. But I'm just saying that like when you turn that mirror on yourself as a human and start to experience the terrors that you deliver without any problem at all to other species, it becomes horror because it makes you feel like less of what you think you are. You know, like you're being hunted for sport.
And it's not mindlessness as well. It's not zombies attack everything else because they're hungry, and there's no differentiation there. This guy picks and chooses, and you've been chosen. Yeah, which is it's like additionally kind of like just upsetting.
You are worthy. Thanks.
And you're worthy because if anything else, he just saw you take out an entire camp full of your own people. And so warriors.
Yes, he's watching.
All right.
Yeah, exactly. That warriors. Good. The perfect sport.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to just attack anyone with a gun.
Right.
You know?
And they even managed to wound him, so it's like he had some real sport with these guys.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Which I thought was pretty cool.
He was in for a good fight. Well, it's even, again, it's skipping in, but there's the bit right at the end when he's squaring off with, well, I say squaring off, it's kind of one-sided, when he fights Schwarzenegger. He finally gets his hands on him. And I love the way he holds him up and then just like moves his head side to side, like examining his skull. Like, yeah. That's a good one. It's like, well, in that case, and it just like takes all his like high weaponry off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
some German engineering.
There's a Misfits song called Skulls, which is basically the chorus to it goes, "I want your skull, I need your skull," and that was the thing that came to mind. Yeah, it's an interesting song. It's really fun, and a band called Trivium did a cover of it, which I would highly recommend. But basically, when he was kind of looking at his kind of like his features, and kind of you can tell he's looking at what a brilliant trophy he will be. Like that just popped into my head.
and and I'm just thinking again, like, see, he'd be shown off to his other Predator friends going, and this one, you see, I took him down with my bare hands.
Yeah.
Like humans do.
Yeah.
And I go, I killed this elephant with my own two hands. You know, something disgusting like that. And you know, it makes perfect sense. And that's why it's not really a villain. It's just killing for trophies and sport, like a lot of fucking humans do.
Yeah.
It's just a lot faster and stronger and far more terrifying.
Right. But alone, thankfully.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about too many of those.
Thankfully.
One thing I also really liked about it, though, is that at the end when Arnold sets up all those traps and, like, he basically baits the Predator to attack him into his trap zone, if you would.
Yeah.
But Predator like takes a moment to look up and see the spikes and like, nah, bitch, I do this shit to you. You don't do this shit to me.
Yeah, I love the way it looks. It looks up at them, and he's like, "Come on, come on!" It looks at him, and it has the most unimpressed look on its face. Like,
yeah,
really? Like it kind of raises its eyebrows. Really? And then just almost like the Kevin Peter's like body language is so good because the animatronics on the head is just phenomenal anyway. Just brilliant.
Yeah, it is.
Stan Winston was just the best. He's
I would just say,
and
just in general, passing comment that the whole design of the character is really interesting.
So iconic as well.
Yeah.
But the animatronic on the face is just remarkably just incredible.
It's better than any CGI I've seen.
Yeah.
Like,
it really
I mean,
is.
it looks like a real fucking face.
Yeah, because there's a real guy underneath. Because you know, there's his eyes. He's got contact lenses in, but then everything else is animated. But when he he like looks like he notices the spikes and he like holds one, and he's like half holding it and he looks at him and his eyebrows raised. He's like, "No, mate." Gets up and just walks around.
Yeah, but Arnold thought of that too.
Yeah, he's like, "Wait a minute, that." This is such a fun movie. It's got to be like at least the 20th time I've seen it as well. Probably more actually.
Yeah.
But every time I see it, I just absolutely I fall in love with it all over again.
It's good. It's a good movie.
Yes.
But yeah, so the Predator like goes around and like he falls into Arnold's second trap. I guess I'm not really sure how. Double bluff. I don't know how Arnold thought this through to make it work the way it did, except for the situation in which it did, where he was in that area and he kicks that twig and then it drops the log on him. Because if the Predator had walked through that area, I think it's like an L shape, like with the twig at the bottom, or like I guess like the long at the end of the long part of the L, and then he would have turned because Arnold's back was against something, so he would have turned to the right, and then the log would have fell on him. But it seems like that log would have fallen far too fast for that to be an effective trap against the Predator, except for the situation he found himself in.
Well, fun fact, I'll just say that the character of Dutch, when he was younger, was actually Mousetrap regional champion. I don't know, like 1960 something. That's where he got all of the inspiration for it.
That makes sense.
I thought that was actual movie trivia. Sorry,
I wish it was. I delivered it a little bit too deadpan.
Yeah, well, it's not that. It's also, and real quick, Matt. Sorry. Also, like on Amazon, when you do trivia, you can go to the cast and click on the actor. But the actor also has a hyperlink under the actor's name for the character's name. You can click the character's name, and it'll tell you the status of that character in the movie, in the setting of the movie. But usually it's a one sentence thing. Billy was a tracker and he died and blah, blah, blah. But I thought maybe you had access to similar information about Dutch Schaefer and someone actually wrote out that he was a mousetrap champion in the 60s. And I was like, fuck, that is awesome.
That would have been great.
Yeah, I did his mum. See, I was thinking as well, like, I was like, what was his original plan? And I was thinking that when I watched it today before the cast, I was thinking maybe I think the big log was actually part of another trap.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe that's what it was, but he just lucked out and it was standing underneath where it was going to fall. And I thought maybe he'd kick it and it would activate something to do with spikes. I don't know. I'm trying to, because he looks he does look very heartbroken.
It looks like some kind of gauntlet he's designed. So it's like if the one thing doesn't work, then there's something further up the gauntlet to try.
Because he's looking at it like, oh, I'm fucking dead, and then looks up and goes, oh. Huh, okay, I'll kick this out then.
Yeah, like he wasn't planning on doing that, it seemed.
No.
It could have been something like, since it was an L shape, that maybe he was going to go in one way or the other, and there was a trap for both ends.
Yeah,
but
makes sense.
Again, he was surprised at the fact that, he had already laid that trap for that. Or maybe it was just a poor acting at that point. Maybe he acted surprised, and he meant to act more like elated, like I gotcha, bitch, but it didn't come off that way in the movie to me either. It came off as, oh yeah, this boop.
Yeah, I'm certain that's how. Because it just would have been nice if we could see what the trap was supposed to be, because then it really would fool us from thinking, oh, he's going to get him with this big trap he's been working on, like for the setting up, and then you go, oh no, it's not worked, and you go, wait a minute, oh, he's under the thing.
Yeah, so, but what I would have liked to see is Arnold using his knife which he didn't have a knife when he got out of the water, which is why he didn't stab the predator at the time he could have. But he had a knife afterwards for whatever reason, and I wanted to see him chop that log out with a knife. Boom, 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 boom. God damn it! Boom.
I'll get there in the end.
Yeah. By the time he'd be done, all the sweat would have washed all the mud off his body.
God, it looked so hot when they were filming.
Yeah.
When they were on location, they looked so hot and uncomfortable. Like, I mean, obviously you can get, like, you know, the makeup team will, like, spray them to make them look hotter, but there's times where you can tell that they are just genuinely really hot. You can just see it in someone's, like, natural expression, like, just... like, fuck this heat. I do like... even when I was a kid, because as a kid, obviously Arnold was my hero, along with Michael Biehn, as I've mentioned before. And even as a kid, what I really liked is the fact that in every other movie, like, I'd watched of Schwarzenegger before, then, like, Commando, where no one can touch him in Commando. No one in your whole damn army, even though it's from Rambo. But, you know, he's movies where he was just, like, so untouchable. Like, no one could fuck with him. And then in this, you think he's going to have this big, like, you know, mano-a-mano fight with it. And he just gets, like, I think he throws in one punch the whole fight.
Yeah,
and
he does.
The rest of the time, it's just beating the hell out.
And it's a shame because, you know, I just want to touch on that beautiful montage of him kind of getting in touch with nature in terms of, like, becoming this prehistoric primal kind of guy. Man fashion bow, man fashion... man deconstruct grenade, man fashion explosives.
More explosives things, boom stick.
Yeah, so you kind of see him put all this shit together. And it's a beautiful thing. I could watch that for days.
Oh yeah. Did he have the grenade at the end of a stick for his bow and arrow?
He took the gunpowder out of the grenade
and put it in kind of like this parcel, like made out of a leaf kind of thing.
Yeah. Put like a leaf taco and then
leaf taco. Oh, now I want to eat it.
Boom. I did make the joke of when we were watching it when he's like carefully removing the gunpowder from the leaf. I'm like, could you maybe take it away from the fire? It's not doing it right. I've got to do it so that the audience can see me doing it on film. Like, get it away from the flame.
Yeah, you should know better.
Like, not only going to give away your location, but the predator's just going to find you in bits, and then it's just going to be disappointed.
Yeah. No skull here to pick up, and I didn't deserve it even if there was. Man.
I'm the worst predator.
I'm the
worst hunting trip ever.
Just blows himself up.
Fucking no, he uploads his worst hunting trip ever message to social media that all the predators look at, and they're like, "Oh," they all like and share and try to encourage him and make you feel
it's like,
bad.
No, you got this, man. You good? It's like, it's like, no, man. Next year, next summer.
No, there's the one predator who's like, "I told you not to go to Earth. It's shit." 3 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, and someone's like, "Well, no, Earth isn't that bad, man. I went to Earth 10 years ago. It was great." Well, I guess that's because you're an asshole. What do you mean I'm an asshole? I thought Earth was fine. And
Why you gotta be that way?
Fucking comment a string of predators yelling at each other.
Just using sound bites for the people they've copied the voices from.
That wasn't really used in this movie as much as it was. I think in second movie, I think it was used more often.
That's one of my favourite moments in the second one is when it's on the subway and all the lights are constantly flashing, and it's walking towards Bill Paxton, and then a child's voice just says, "Want some candy?"
Oh yeah.
Like, ah!
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
Bill Paxton dies horribly. She's like, "What the fuck, man?" Just runs towards it and meets his end. But yeah, he only uses he records their voices and then he like plays them back to himself. And the only time he actually repeats something is right at the end when Dutch says like, "What the hell are you?" and he just says the same thing to him.
Yeah.
And then starts laughing like Billy.
Yeah.
As he like no, that's that like genuinely like even though I've seen the film multiple times, that kind of like made my hair stand on it because it's just really unsettling the way it just starts laughing at him. Like and he's like looking at the thing and you can hear it like beeping down. Like that's not a good sound wherever you're from.
Yeah.
A sound like that is bad. Move, run. He's like keeps laughing.
Well, if the beeping
get away, run!
If the beeping's not enough, the kind of like universally acknowledged kind of like, you know, 4 things are beeping like appearing, and then 3 things are appearing. You're like, oh,
yeah,
this is counting down.
I just love how it uses like one last thing to fuck with him as well by laughing in his former like friend's voice.
Yeah,
and it's not a recording; it's laughing. It's actually laughing. I love that.
Yeah, I'm thinking that I'm just gonna say it out loud because we're talking about predators right now. He blows himself up, and that seems to be like a predator thing. And I wonder if it's because the predators like go on a vacation, I guess, a hunting trip to get skulls and things like that. And they don't actually want to upset the ecosystem or like the evolutionary patterns of the people who live there.
Yeah.
So they just blow themselves up because then all you'll have is an explosion.
I thought it was like an STFU. You won't have my skull.
Yeah,
I don't know if it could be like a Klingon thing, and it's like I have dishonored my house and I must kill myself, something like that.
Right.
But yeah, I also like the idea of it's like, well, if one of them catches you, blow yourself up so the monkey men don't get our tech.
Yeah, you don't want to ruin Earth for future visitors. Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying, though. Like, if they got the tech, then they would start developing technology against the predators with the predator technology, and they don't want that. But also, you have the side perk of not disturbing their evolutionary patterns.
Yeah.
So
I thought about it that way, but that
sort of
makes
maintains their ecosystem, kind of like park rangers make sure there's a population of deer by making sure there's wolves there to hunt the deer, and that kind of thing. Like they control the population and the way they grow, like responsibly. Which is kind of cool. Good on you, Predator.
You see, not a bad guy. Cares about the ecosystem.
Yeah. That's like the only thing that makes this not quite a scary movie is that you identify with the Predator so much and what he's doing that it's like normal. It's just like a normal guy. Hey, normal guy. But I was thinking while I was watching
some kind of Michael Myers thing,
right? Yeah,
it's more kind of I can see because first when you said he's like humanized and you can kind of see how he's. I was like, what? But yeah, no. Now that you mention it, it's not like he's like this like unflinching, unrelenting, endlessly kind of like It Follows style. Baddie. You can see his motivations. You can see he gets hit and he has to heal himself with a first aid kit. Just like the rest of us, and he clamps and it really hurts and he screams. Yeah. Yeah. So
and what else was there? That's why I always thought the Predator wasn't. I'm not saying this was a bad choice. Again, I'm saying that I don't think the Predator is a very scary monster. And I've seen a lot of like haunted houses in America. And my aunt Cindy, she used to like own one for a while, like about 30 years ago. And they would have people dressed up as the Predator in the haunted house, along with other things like Michael Myers and Jason and that kind of stuff. I don't believe that the Predator deserves to be placed amongst like horror icons exactly because of how human he is and how he's not malicious or evil. I mean, yeah, he is badass, and yes, he will kill you, and there is no mercy. But it's because you're a warrior and you're of hunting age.
I'd say he's more of a sci-fi icon than horror.
Right.
Yeah.
In that regards.
But you can still use a
Aliens versus Predator helps with that as well.
Right. And you can use a xenomorph in a haunted house, though, because that's fucking scary. Those things are intensely frightening. Because it would fucking not just kill you, but take you and slowly dissolve you into an egg to create another...
that's horrifying.
Face hugger to create another xenomorph that create more humans to do the same thing. So that's fucking terrifying. Ooh. Yes. Like, that's the worst thing about Newt getting carried off in Alien 2. Or Alien 2? Yeah, Aliens, sorry.
If we are talking about, like, evil villain high school, like we have so many times already, with, like, Freddy Krueger as, like, the school jock, and the Bye-Bye Man is kind of ridiculed as the gets wedgies all the time. I guess Predator is, like, really good at, like, track and field.
I would put him at the principal level.
Yeah, I was going to say, he'd be like a teacher or something.
Yeah,
he'd be like authority. Like, now stop that! You're doing it wrong. Don't do it mindlessly. That's not how we do things here.
And being stealth, you would just like walk around and like catch people in the act doing shit, and he's like everywhere, like Batman. It would be awesome.
He's like, if you're gonna remove your mask, make sure there's like, I don't know, some mandibles or something interesting behind it. Otherwise, just keep the mask on.
Like, Jason tries to make, like, a crack at him and he's like, hey, what's under your mask, Jason? Oh, just like a deformed face? Fucking squid face, now piss off.
Yeah.
Let me grow a proper face. when you got a cool animatronic face, then we can talk. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
So, but yeah, that's basically Predator.
Yeah,
that's basically Predator.
It's a very simple movie, really, in terms of like setup and the plot. Like, you can just talk about the plot.
You could explain the plot in one sentence.
Yeah,
I think.
But it's what happens, and some people are like, oh, that's not very deep. I'm like, no, every movie has to be deep, and also that doesn't mean anything. It just means that how do you tell the story?
Yeah, I mean, you can complain about anything in any way. You can make up the rules as far as complaining goes. Oh, it's not a very deep movie. It doesn't have to be deep. Oh, its movie is too deep. Not every movie has to be, shallow. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, you could go one way or the other. There's never a perfect movie. These people need to shut up.
Yeah. Exactly. And then end of the day, it's like, was it entertaining? Did it do it right? Because, you can have a dumb action movie, but the thing is, there are good dumb action movies, and there are really
Transporter.
Bad. Yeah, exactly. Or there's really bad dumb action movies where it's just boring and miserable, and it's not made well. There's no real craft to it.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at something like Die Hard, I'm not saying it's a dumb movie, but when you look at something like Die Hard, the setup is so simple.
Yeah.
But it's the same director as Predator as well. It's John McTiernan. And it's all about how you execute it. Like, you can have the most complex plot. Look at the Wachowskis. They like to write these big, intricate stories, and if it doesn't work, no one's going to watch it because it doesn't make for a good movie.
That's what, especially about Predator, is I think it is deep, actually, in some ways, about certain things, but those aren't like the focus of the plot in terms of like what's actually said and between characters and stuff. It's got themes of like man as like this kind of like primal animal, and how it like it rose to the top and got complacent, and now something's along that is like it's equal, so it kind of has to meet it on that level, and all those kind of themes about like macho-ness and that's all in there, but it's like it's not super explicit. It's more just kind of like a theme that is playing out in the background as well, at the same time as just some guys are stuck in the woods with a space alien.
Yeah.
So I think you can have those levels, those depths and things without having to make it dialogue heavy. I think when you make it dialogue heavy, that's the problem, is because then people have to be on board with all those themes. Like, they have to get all that the first time. While you could watch Predator, just see it as a cool action film and go, yeah, that was great. Or you could watch it and go, actually, yeah, there's these like neat themes going on in the background. Like, you don't have to. You could have both experiences, and it would be fine. But if you're going to watch, say, like, I don't know, like The Matrix or whatever, the second it starts to get super convoluted, you kind of like your brain checks out, because you're like, well, what's going on here? Why?
Doesn't say like the. Yeah, exactly. That's the moment the series failed and fell apart is that moment when Neo walks into the room with I can't remember his name, like the director, whatever the fuck he is.
The architect.
It falls apart as soon as he enters that room, and they basically say, hey, you know all that stuff you've been invested in? Pointless.
I think, honestly, and I don't think this is too controversial, for me, The Matrix was ruined the second I started watching the second movie.
And the worst thing is, like, and again, the really annoying thing is the second one has got some really exciting action set pieces. The plot is boring, but some like the vapid. The fight scene in the Merovingian's palace, like the weapon fight scene when it's Neo versus all like his men, like, that's exciting. The car chase on the freeway is so exciting. It's so entertaining, and I can keep watching it again and again. But yeah, as soon as they get into that, the whole thing the movie's been building towards, and they try to be too clever, and that sums up their entire career after The Matrix, as they try to be too clever.
This is why I'm so happy that John Wick exists, because I can just see Keanu Reeves like shoot a bunch of fools, and it doesn't have to be like this meta plot.
Yet you're invested,
yes,
because you care,
and
that's the main
simpler.
thing.
It's
you don't
simpler.
care. Yeah, you haven't got a character talk like using lots of big words. You can tell that the guy, like whoever wrote John Wick, didn't sit there trying to be very like thought-provoking and deep, and didn't like have like a thesaurus open. It's like, no, what word can I use next that sounds really intelligent? That one, who in the movie theatre is going to understand what that word means, like in a normal sentence? Like, you go, what the fuck is he talking about? Because 90% of the people, even if you're well educated, when they saw The Matrix Reloaded, sat there going, wow, this movie's awesome, like loads of action, and they get to that scene, like, the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah.
Concurrently and all this, you're like, what are you doing? It's like, well, the ones that came before you, like, oh, well, we just let them be and blah, 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 and then we'll destroy Xeon again. Like, that doesn't make any sense. What do you mean you've destroyed it before? Like, why would you do that? It makes no sense. Why are you doing this? Are you just trying to have a twist for the sake of... Oh, they're trying to have a twist just for the sake of it.
Yeah. I can say that it's hard to avoid doing that because you don't want to do something that somebody else already did. No. So you try to twist a little bit on something, and it's ultimately... I'm not saying... No, I'm not going to say it's ultimately pointless, but it doesn't always work, and it also can easily ruin your movie when you could have just had a really cool sci-fi action flick with Kung Fu.
Yeah, all anyone wanted in the Matrix sequels was to see the continued war against humanity and the machines. That's what anyone wanted. That's what anyone wanted. It'd be like if they did something like that in Star Wars. Like, can you imagine if you had like The Empire Strikes Back, and the twist in that is brilliant, because it adds more dramatic weight to two characters, and really changes things. But if they really change it, like, did you not realize, Luke, that the Emperor allowed Obi-Wan to live, and that we have destroyed the Jedi many times before, the rebellion is a creation of our own, and you'd be like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, I don't want to see this shit.
You just drop the lightsaber and walk out.
I came for the glowing swords. I stayed for the socio-political commentary.
Yeah, it's like all I wanted to see was because The Matrix is a fun movie. It's still the first one in a lot of places holds up really well.
Yeah.
And all anyone wanted to see was the continuation of that and see, wow, we're going to get more characters and what kind of stuff are they going to see next? Because obviously he's going to have more guys to fight against besides agents, because he can fight agents now. So are they going to make super agents or something, or is there going to be some human bad guy? And you start doing these things in your mind and you come up with a better movie, because that's all it should have been, is something simple of, well, now we need a bigger threat than agents, and in the end they just used another agent as a big threat. He doesn't really have a big. He never. It's weird, the whole Agent Smith thing. He's there and he doesn't really have any bearing on the overall plot. They really, at the end of the day, at the end of the third movie, they kind of luck out. They go, well, thank God the Agent Smith was there. Otherwise they'd just killed us all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had this conversation similarly with another person at my job, and we were talking about Superman and how Superman, as a video game, doesn't really work because he's supposed to be indestructible and you can't really do anything. Yeah, and Matrix, when you have the Keanu Reeves being the one, it's a similar situation where the agents are no longer a threat to him, and he's nothing they can do to stop him in the virtual world. What we'd come up with as a really good alternative, but we haven't really seen this yet. If you made a game where you played a Superman, make him invincible, but make the challenge be how many people you can save.
Yes.
In a situation like that. So with Neo, what the second movie could have been is how well he manages to preserve the resistance during everything. He can fight all the agents he wants, but he can only be in one place at one time.
Exactly.
So that would have been a far more interesting movie, and the dramatic weight would have compounded when the characters that you started to start dying off, and Neo just can't save them.
Because also he might be able to save them in the Matrix, but he can't save them in the real world.
Yeah,
and you'd have people literally dying to protect him, and you'd have all this dramatic weight, and he's like, people have died to save me.
Yeah, and it would have compounded on the theme of the one. He's the one that everyone lives for on both sides. You have the agents trying to stop the one, and you have the resistance trying to preserve the one, and the one's just being pulled at both ends, and you'd be munching the fuck out of your popcorn, pouring the bag on your face, watching what's going on, and it would have been amazing.
Instead,
I think we just fixed the Matrix.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I did.
We rebooted it.
Instead, we reloaded it.
Instead, he goes back to Zion and is half of them I don't believe in the one. Oh, well, there goes all that mythology out the fucking window. Then,
what? Yeah, that's stupid.
I will say, though, that for a trilogy based around the idea of living in a computer simulation, that the solution really is to turn it off and on again. And that has been the solution.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow.
It really is, isn't it?
4 times before or whatever. We just
okay, he's done it.
Yeah.
You said it. Oh, it's all done. Why did we not do that in the first place? It's we're not very good at this whole thing, are we? Why would they design the machines?
It just feels spiritually apt for kind of an IT based.
Yeah, basically, fuck the Wachowskis.
Well,
Stop making movies.
They tried. I mean, we all enjoyed The Matrix. It was a cultural phenomenon. I mean, they did their best. Don't fuck the Wachowskis.
Not literally.
Not literally.
Unless they want you to. Unless it's consensual, then it's fine.
Well, yeah, consensual. I mean, everyone has a price, right?
To be fair, they did write extra parts for The Matrix: The Path of Neo, which is a fun game. They did that.
Yeah,
that was fun.
I enjoyed my play, but I've only played it once, and it was a while ago. It was back when it mostly came out. But yeah, I did enjoy that game. It was silly.
It was fun. It was like, this is what the Matrix game should have been. It wasn't perfect, but it was fun. And you got to run around as Keanu Reeves in the game. Who doesn't fucking want that?
They realised after whatever it was, Enter the Matrix, that they really needed to. It needed to be fun.
Yeah.
Like,
badly.
It's like, because you play you're like, wow, they're making the Matrix game. Why am I playing as these two chuckleheads? I want to play as the one.
I remember because I pretty much just got out of school. I was in college when Reloaded came out, and they were doing the whole tie-in, like, the video game kind of takes place at the same time as the movie with different characters and kind of things overlap. And I was like, whoa, this is the first time this is like happening. It's a really cool kind of thing to do. And it turned out to be like woefully just like
it's a piece of shit,
underwhelming.
It's half finished. It's horrible.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got really off track there. I don't.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you talk about the Matrix.
Yes, we did that. So that is our Christmas gift to you. We
fixed the Matrix.
Fixed the Matrix. Now, Wachowskis, if you're listening, I know you are.
Yeah.
Stop making movies. Sell the rights to Disney or something, and they can just do it better, like everyone else is doing.
Don't do that.
Get Zack Snyder to.
Oh no!
No one would be able to see what's going on. It'd be too dark.
Yeah, it would be.
And,
I saw a trailer.
Those glasses as well.
I saw a trailer for Justice League, and was it in black and white? Is that was that a real trailer?
Yeah.
Like I thought, so. Yeah, like it was like really, really dark. Not like literally black and white, like they did like a black and white filter or whatever. It was just like they just like desaturated all the color to where it's just black and white.
That's basically what Zack Snyder does. He's like, right, okay, I've shot everything right. Need desaturize it in post. That's what I'm done. Great, cool. I'm gonna go make something else.
Like I have a real problem with that because I do like Watchmen, the movie, and I read the book afterwards, and I thought that the book was great, and that the movie was an excellent companion piece to the book. Like you can enjoy both equally, and it would be fine. There's not a whole lot of hiccups, except for at the very end. And this isn't really I guess it's kind of a spoiler, but if you haven't watched Watchmen by now, then you're not gonna. When Night Owl punches Ozymandias in the movie, like after Ozymandias reveals his plan, that didn't happen in the book. And I realized that the reason that happened in the movie is because the good guy is supposed to defeat the bad guy. But the book wasn't written that way. The book was like, the bad guy was way ahead of you the whole time.
I've not watched or read Watchmen, but I've picked up little bits, because you kind of do. I think it's called like cultural osmosis. You just pick them up. But isn't Ozymandias, isn't it like a thing where they go like, oh, what's your plan? He goes, this is my plan. They go, we'll stop you. And he goes, actually, I did it like half an hour ago.
Yes. That was so good. I was like, fuck, what do they do now? It's already over. They've already lost.
Thank you, evil genius, for like having, the foresight
for actually being an evil genius.
Explain the plan after you've done it rather than before.
Yeah.
Like,
But in
the 2 days ago.
But like in the book, they just sort of like, oh shit, and then they just sort of like walk away because there's nothing else they can really do. Ozymandias has them, and he's also very strong in his own right. So like they would just basically throwing themselves away for no reason. But in the movie, Night Owl just runs up and punches him, and Ozymandias takes it like a champ. So
he like hits him. He's like, fair enough.
Yeah, well done.
All right, I'll give you that.
Yeah, you deserve it.
He's like, I can see why you'd want to hit me. Ow, yeah.
And there's that, and the fact that they didn't use a giant like bio monster explosion in New York, but that's fine because that would have been really strange in the movie.
It would have been difficult.
Yeah, it would have been difficult. So like an explosion of another kind was perfectly fine. I thought Zack Snyder nailed that movie from what my experience and my memory of seeing it and all that kind of stuff. So when Zack Snyder does other things, I'm like, oh, cool, Z Snyder. I kind of like that Watchmen movie. And everyone's like, you like a Zack Snyder movie? What's wrong with you? This guy likes a Zack Snyder movie. Hey, everybody, point and laugh at him. And I'm just like, oh, my God. And I look down and I'm not wearing pants and then I wake up.
Yeah. I find it ridiculous, the whole kind of like thing about like as a society what we're supposed to like, what we're not supposed to, what's cheesy, what's not. That just annoys me.
So, but that was Predator.
Yeah.
And it holds up remarkably well.
It's really well done.
Yes,
practically speaking, and pace-wise, and acting, and like even for a 90s action flick. It was in the 90s, early 90s, I think,
late
80s.
I think it was 80s.
Late 80s.
It's the year I was born. It's 30 years today. This year.
Well, happy birthday, Predator!
The Predator gets a happy birthday.
Well, it's the Predator. You give him a happy birthday.
To be fair, it is the Predator.
You just don't have any skulls but your own to give him, and hopefully he doesn't take the present, like unwrap the gift, as it were.
Is it a skull?
Happy birthday,
is it a skull?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not a skull. Oh. Great.
It's another toaster. Great, thanks.
Never a toaster. I'm always eating cold bread. But like it holds up today. It's perfect. It's a great movie. And I think it's like my choice this time. Right?
Yes. So you'll be picking the first episode of season 2. Make it good.
Season 2.
Yeah, no
Make
pressure.
it good. Well, as I understand it, we'll have plenty of time because it'll be January before season 2 starts. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a good time for me to drop this bomb, and I hope you guys can pick it up, maybe on GOG. No, definitely on GOG. I'm sure it'd be there if anywhere else.
Oh, it's a game. I want a game.
Yeah.
Hit
have
me with
either
a
of
game.
you give me the game? You're gonna prey on the game, Predator Man.
Yes.
Have either of you played Clive Barker's Undying?
Nope.
Oh no, but I've got it,
Well,
and I've been meaning to play it for ages.
Here you go.
Because
Merry Christmas.
because I had it on my old PC, which was temperamental to fuck, and I got like an hour in, and it crashed and deleted my save file.
Yeah.
Because the machine was a piece of shit.
Undying.
But this new one's great. Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need a towel, buddy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I played it. I didn't beat it, but like I played a little bit of it. No, I played about a few hours of it. I got a few extra weapons and stuff. But I was definitely scared of it. It's a frightening game. It's like a mix of like Edgar Allan Poe, but you're also playing a character who has like magic in one hand and a weapon in another. So you have like a Lovecraftian sort of atmosphere as well. And I didn't know what to expect at all. So every step was harrowing. Every turn was harrowing. And you get like this weapon at one point where it's like a Chinese firework like thing, like a mortar that you would use to put a Chinese firework in. Like classically speaking, like old fireworks, but it shoots like explosives. Or no, I think it breathes fire, or maybe it does both. I don't remember. The thing is, it's in the shape of a Chinese dragon. And it's alive. So I'm walking down a hallway, and then it roars, and I'm like, God damn it!
I'm looking at that right now. It's in the screenshots on the GOG page.
Yeah. Oh, so it is on GOG then, and hopefully affordable. I'm sure it is.
Yeah, it's only $4.59.
Okay. Yeah. So I would like put the gun away and put my other gun up just because I didn't want that thing roaring at me anymore as I'm like going through this fucking house. I do remember it being difficult, so I don't expect all of us to beat the game, but we're all well experienced gamers by now. I'm pretty sure we wouldn't have that much of a problem with it. And I've been dying to go through it myself. So yeah,
the reviews look good, and a lot of them are praising the storyline. So
yeah, it should be
good things.
It should be a great start for the next season of our podcast.
Excellent.
Yeah. And a bit of Clive Barker as well is always good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
if it's not Jericho.
Like I like Jericho. Fuck you. I'm gonna make you play that game this like next year.
No, please don't.
Yeah, it's happening, bitch.
No, it hurts.
I remember my brother playing that. I was watching him in like he was basically you can swap around your teammates, like go into each other's heads, right?
Yeah.
And I just remember everything looking vaguely kind of like orangey red. Like it was like kind of everything was made of blood.
Yeah, kind of.
It's not terrible, but it's like I think it's a bit too long. I think is the problem I had with it. It runs out of ideas early on.
Yeah,
but I mean, it looked great for its time. I remember it looking really, really fucking good.
Yeah, I remember looking really good. Like I remember
as well.
You had textures, and I'm sorry, I just stepped on you. I didn't mean to, but I'm excited because Jericho is a game I do like, though I didn't beat it. Maybe it's bad at the end, I don't know. But you basically have 6 team members and a elite paranormal squad of some kind, and then one of the team members dies. He's the leader, but his spirit exists, and you play as that spirit, and you can possess the other 5 members and control them at will. And it's got a lot of banter. There's one lady who, I don't remember what her skills are, but she's written in as a character who is a lesbian. And when you possess her, one of the other guys says, "Hey, whatever your name is, what's it feel like to have a man inside you?"
She's like, "Fuck you, man."
Yeah, exactly. And then there's another character. She's like a chrono mage of some kind or whatever. She uses algorithms to predict the future, and she can also control time in small amounts. And her name is Simone. I don't remember her last name anymore, but I made a Guild Wars 2 character that looks like her because she just really stuck with me. She was the one that I kept playing all the time because she could slow down time. She could summon in ammunition from the future to the past. She can put time bombs place them right on your body because she can move through time. So she's running through, kind of like Tracer in Overwatch, now that I think about it. And she was extremely useful because she could just do so much in the small period of time that I played her almost all the time. So yeah, I like Jericho. I think it
had some moments. It has some good moments.
I mean, the story might be shit. I don't remember, but the character interactions are fun, and I remember being suitably challenged to get through it. So. Maybe next time it's my turn, I'll make you play Jericho.
This and Undying look quite good, so thanks for that. That's great.
I'm down for Undying, definitely.
Cool. Very cool.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Everyone,
shout out to Red Letter Media. Yeah. Don't forget
it's the greatest movie I've ever seen in my life.
And don't forget to buy lots of Marvel merchandise and play the Marvel mini games and mobile games and stuff.
Very give them all your money. Yeah, they haven't got enough.
Very cool. Everything's very cool.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Well, so we've reached the end of season 1. Yes. I'd just like to say, guys, thank you so much for an excellent year. I've really enjoyed podcasting, and I think we've gotten a little bit better at it as we've gone along, and the runtime has crept up considerably.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to stop when you have fun.
It is.
Precisely,
it is. And I hope if you're listening, you've had fun this year and you enjoyed listening. Get in touch, over the Christmas period. Say hello. If you listen to this in the future, you will only be allowed to contact us over Christmas period. So you'll have to wait until the next Christmas period to contact us.
Yes.
But yeah, between now and then, we'll enjoy Clive Barker's Undying. Matt, you've got a YouTube channel.
Yes, I do. Which is Lost in the Warp Pipe. I will likely I'm going to try and get a Walking Dead video up by the end of the year. I've written quite a fair bit of it, but I'm holding off finishing the script until the mid-season finale.
That's a good idea, yeah. Then you can do it
because
in overview of the whole season.
Yeah, maybe it won't suck. Oh, I'm funny.
I think even if it pulls something out of the hat that makes it just like a blowaway episode, it's still not worth all the time invested this season for it.
No, it's not. So, but hopefully they do something good, and maybe give the primary antagonist some more screen time because that usually helps. It'd be like if there was a Star Wars movie and Darth Vader's in one scene. You'd be like, "Who the fuck is this guy? Why should I care?" You keep saying he's bad. He looks alright to me.
He looks alright to me.
Yeah.
I mean, he matches the outer space with all that black he's wearing, so
Yeah, exactly.
I wish he was my dad.
Yeah. My dad can beat up your dad. My dad's Darth Vader. Oh, shit.
Oh, shit, he can. My dad can choke your dad.
Yeah. My dad can choke your dad through a television screen.
That's badass.
Yeah. Can reach across the galaxy and choke your ass out.
Damn straight.
Okay, well, there's a link to Matt's channel in the scripts, in the description below.
Yeah, watch my shit and send me abuse because some Batman fans gonna cry over my Arkham Knight reaction like it's so stupid, like oh no, don't you get the ending? Yes, I do. That's why I don't like it.
Yeah,
idiots.
Whoa.
But yeah, watch my stuff.
Yes, idiots. Watch Matt's stuff.
Yeah.
Chris,
send me abuse. It's funny.
How is your? You still working on your DMC?
Yeah, I'm still working. I did 3 videos yesterday. I just keep getting distracted by Final Fantasy. But I know this is like something I need to have done because I was texting a buddy about DMC for no reason. I think we're talking about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Dante's inclusion. Oh, and Bayonetta 3's announcement. So I was thinking, well, I thought there was going to be a Devil May Cry 5. Anyway, but I was talking about how he's in basically everything anyway, so I knew Bayonetta wouldn't be that bad. Plus, they're putting it all on the Switch, so you can have all the Bayonetta on the Switch, on the go, wherever you go. That's kind of neat. Yeah, but we got to talking about Devil May Cry, and specifically DMC, and I sent him like 15 like paragraph-long text messages about certain parts of the game, and it's like, I have a lot to say about this fucking thing. I need to put that video up. So yeah, I'm definitely doing that. It will, like, the non-commentary version will be up well before Christmas, if not by the end of this weekend. But the commentary version will take a bit more time. So
nah, it's fine.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'm still looking forward to it.
And talk. So
so am I.
I am having fun changing the music up. It's actually kind of like I'm DJing the fucking thing, but I'm
DJ DMC.
Yeah, DJ DMC. Does anyone have that name? I'm taking it. That's my new YouTube channel name, DJ DMC. It's not yet.
Not yet, anyway.
Can I do that? Can I change my name? I might. it'd be easier to say than Chris10_61.
Why not?
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Go.
Yeah,
Get
do
to
it.
the chopper.
Flex your name change.
And
Tom?
yeah, well, I've got a YouTube channel that I haven't done anything with all year until now. Yeah, so it doesn't make any sense to announce it here because by the time this episode goes out, I'll probably have already started. Or
have started not doing anything on the channel.
No, I'm going to be streaming, and
Okay.
I think probably Tuesday the 19th, if not Wednesday the 20th of December. I'm going to stream every night for about 2 hours. I'm going to start speedrunning Gregory Horror Show. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play the game through normally, show you Gregory Horror Show so you can enjoy it, because it didn't get released in the US, and if you want to track it down and play it, it's a bit difficult. So
it's like $300.
Yeah, well,
I checked,
I believe it can be, yeah, for sure. So which is really weird because it was released over here as a budget title, so we even knew it was like 20 quid. But it's a really good game. It's fun, and so I'm going to talk you through the game first and show you the game because that point afterwards we're going to be trying to basically get the world record for the speed run. So yeah, come join me. The streams will be up on YouTube, so you can check them out. If this is the future, you can still go ahead and watch those. You just won't be there live.
Yeah,
so,
if this is the future and not the long ago.
Yeah. Yes. So I'm doing the streamy weemy on the glowing box of pictures.
The talkie telly.
Yeah. So come join me, and yeah,
fucking trash people.
Until next time, stay spoiled, stay damned, stay undying.
Yeah.
Hey.
And stay tuned.
Stay
subbed.
For season 2 of Spoilers of the Damned. See you next year.
Yeah.
Goodbye, you filthy
Merry
animals.
Christmas.
This episode of Spoilers of the Damned was hosted by Axton10_61, Madicus Finch, and Garlips. To find out about us, as well as join the discussion on our Discord, check out all the links in the description below. Please feel free to leave a review or rate us on your podcast app of choice.